Yo, what is up, everyone? How's it going? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Neo. Appreciate you pulling up, Neozoic. He said he can't stay tonight, but I appreciate him just pulling up and just saying hi. It means a lot to me, man. But hope you're doing well, Neo. Take care of yourself. Hope you make it to I hope you have, a good rest of the week and have a great weekend as well. And yeah, I think it was Alex. Alex said that Ziggy's a better host than me. You're right. He definitely would be. Him just licking his own ass on on my chair would certainly be a lot better than me. Okay, because it's Ziggy. Ziggy's adorable. We stand Ziggy here. But what's up, everyone? How's it going? Hope you're all having a good Thursday. But let's see. We got Rocky says, I cannot wait to cut loose and I'm not gonna hold back. And Severed Evans is like, calm down, man. It's almost time. Yo, Rocky's just that dude. He always brings the energy. Dude that's been here on the channel for a long time. Shout out to Rocky. Also, shout out to you, Severed Evans. Always good to see you, fam. We got Alex vs. Evil, Pierce Taylor, Derpnator, Deathmaster234. We got a bunch of the usual suspects. It is always good to see you guys, for real, for real. If you haven't yet and you're new here, definitely hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Really helps me out. Hey, let's see. We got Doba Fett pulling up. Appreciate you being here, bro. Oh, and Words of Paradise, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Leon Isle. Always good to see you, fam. Hey, thank you for the shout out, Rocky. Always appreciate you. Goodall. Always good to see Goodall. Jacob Golf, City, Navo. Always good to see you, man. It's another day above ground is a good day, right? I'm always grateful, even for the little things, man. But it's good to see you all. How's everything going? What y'all been playing? What y'all been anticipating? Luxury nostalgia. What's up? Hey, yo, Severin Evans. Severin Evans, bro. Thank you so much, good buddy. He has just become a cult classic, baby. Okay, bro, you totally didn't have to. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me, bro. That you believe in an asshole like me. Okay, bro. Oh man, but you know what? Thank you so much for becoming a channel member, fam. Thank you so much. And that's the highest tier channel member. Totally didn't have to, dog. It means a lot to me. Real quick, man, let's give all the homies, all the channel members a shout out because I appreciate you all for believing in a pain in the ass like me. But real quick, shout out to Hustle and Motivate, Our Carry, Get This Work, AB Limits, Alex vs. Evil, RC Scott, John Shepard, Orange Hat Reviews, Gray Early, Admiral Teague, Hargeet Chennai, Words of Paradise, Damon's Ghost, Tokyo TZTV, Adriano Italiano, Deathmaster234, Butch Luffy, Retromania, Iron Man, Rich the Swaggler, Talos Ree, 5 Izzy 5, Fake Pear Bear, Livewire 4K, Arc 0606, Tetsu Shama, General Vague, Sandor Clang, Jenna Catania, Overcooked Octopus Feet, Saad Al Sabah, Jason Holt, Quack, Fire God, Lemonade King, Nola Boy, 504, Cannoli Sasquatch, Good All One Bay, Astro Cyborg, KRG, Rezi, The Nobody, Super Kitty, Sanguine Tails, Bob MCP3, Sunny Turner, Copa Catania, Jacob Golf, City Navo, Luxury Nostalgia, TXT, TGAP Steve, and welcome Severin Evans to the growing list. Yeah, Joshua, I just started streaming. Yo, Joshua's here, man, early. Yo, it's always good to see. Yo, Joshua always pulls up like at the end of the stream. And I know, I'm sure you got things going on in your life, bro. I'm sure that you're a busy man, but it's good to see you early. It's good to see you here, man. Because it's like you come here at the end. It's like, damn, we barely even got to chop it up. But it's good to see you. We got Nola Boy that pulled up in the chat. Good to see you, Retromania. You almost went to sleep. I mean, yo, if you need your sleep, you need your sleep, okay? Yo, RC Scott just popped in and heard my name. Some good I always try to give a shout out to all the channel members because obviously I do appreciate you guys. It does mean a lot to me. So either in the beginning or at the end of the stream, I normally go down the list of individuals just to give y'all a shout out. Hey, Lazy Titan, it's good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, man, so many people pulling up. I really appreciate that, guys. It does mean a lot to me. Yo, RC on that good shit right now. I see you, bro. But, ooh, Alex just finished up Cowboy Bebop. Wait, no, wait. You're at the end. He's at the last 3 episodes. Do not spoil anything, guys. Please let this man cook. He's almost there. Okay, you're almost at the tail end. Things are going to get even more insane than they already have. Okay. Lazy, you're not late. You're not late at all, good sir. We just started up. We're about 12 minutes in. The first 5 minutes is like me just setting up. But it's good to see you. Hey, Red Clouds! What is good with you, bro? Watch Doge. Watch Doge, what's good with you, bro? Good to see you, fam. Hope you're doing well this evening. He's speaking in Spanish, and let me see, he said, Vala para mi mami. Vaya para mi going because of my mom? Huh? Your mom told you to pull up? That's what... Yo, Hypnotic, what's good with you, bro? No, Vaya. There we go. Okay, I'm reading Spanish. It's been a minute, guys. It has been a hot minute since I've read Spanish. But we could dance, I guess. I'm garbage at it, but we could do that. Oh, it's good to see you guys. We have an insane amount of things to talk about. There is an insane amount of things to talk about. There's definitely an insane amount of things to laugh about. Some salsa? I'm a terrible dancer, okay? I don't do dancing. Matter of fact, I think it's in a tomboy handbook that tomboys must look at dancing as though it is far too feminine for them, and they feel like complete dorks trying to do so. At least that's how I feel, okay? Everybody's different. But watching people dance that are good at it is cool. However, me dancing is not cool. It's really fucking corny, so I'm not going to do any of that. Might as well start off with the most controversial one since it sparked a civil war already. Yikes. There's tons of controversial ones. Yo, it has been a very controversial month. Don't you think? Like, honestly speaking, it's been an extremely controversial month. I think we should kind of start. Look, actually, I do want to get into the Fable situation because I think the way people are going about it, could be not problematic, but like I just want to put a warning out there for people running with this. In regards to the female, I don't know the character. I don't know if it's male or female or what. When it comes to the new Fable. Let me see if I could find this picture. I had it earlier. I don't know what happened to it, but I did indeed have it. Here we go. You enjoyed Fable 3? I remember playing Fable 2. And it was okay for what it was. I've never been like a big Fable fan. But look, man, hear me out on this, guys. Cause I don't want people running into this and then looking stupid later on, you know? Because look. Let me actually put up. This is no doubt fucking ugly, okay? This is terrible. This is this is not a character that any of us really want to play as. Let's be real now, okay? That's very obvious. Okay? But here's the thing. If Fable has a create a character system, then all the people, like, you know, saying, like, oh, this character is a self-insert, that would kind of make people complaining about it kind of stupid. I'm not calling you stupid. My thing is, let's just figure out, does Fable have a create a character system? Because if there's a create a character system and then a person who happens to be a dev creates themselves and self-inserts them into Fable, then it's kind of like, that kind of could be the point. You know? Ethan Jury, what's up? Now, if you would be forced to play as this character, there's no fucking way I'm playing the game. No fucking way. Who the fuck wants to play as this character? Now, if it's a creative character and they chose to make an ugly character, that's just garbage advertising. That you're not advertising me to want to play as the character. So I'd say it's garbage advertising. Now, if you could still go on to create your own character and you can make a character that you're relatively happy with to go through the game with, then that's not problematic. She is making I am very confused, but I'm also trying to clench my cheeks because I have to fart. That's essentially the face that she's making. A creative character in an RPG is a bust in 2023. I agree. And from what I remember with Fable 2, I don't remember really creating a character. It's Abby's sister. Oh no. Oh no. Let me see. Let me actually pull up. Let me pull up the... What do you name this character? Because this is a good question that Juan has here. Juan has this simplistic question. He's asking, what are we naming this? 2023's Craig needs a name. Yo, OJ90, what's good with you, fam? Yo, Delta, what's good with you, bro? Always good to see you. And it's not even Horizon-fied. I'd have to say, like, would you play as this character or Abby? I mean, or this character, Abby, or Aloy? Actually, let's make a poll. Fuck it. Want to make a poll? Let's make a fucking poll. And not one that you dance on, okay? Who are you guys choosing? Let's go. Let's go. Who are y'all choosing? Yo, Hustle and Motivate was good. You Hustle asked Cage. From what I looked up on Google, the second and first games, you could create your own character, but it wasn't extensive. Yeah, that I do. I recall that you had like some customization options, but it wasn't crazy. But this is, let's be real, this is a new Fable. This is not made by, what is it, Lionhead Studio. Like, we don't know what they're gonna hold to and what they won't hold to, you know? So I don't want to jump to conclusions because I don't want to look foolish on this in particular. I would just like to wait and see and actually figure out, like, is this a creative character or is this the character? Because if this is the character, then hell no. This alone makes me say no. This isn't even, oh, she's boring. Oh, she has no personality. oh, she's uninteresting. No, this is, oh, she is horrifying. She is everything I do not want to be in a fucking video game. Is that fair for me to say? Is it fair for us to be honest? I don't know. I don't know if we could be honest anymore. That's the problem. Being honest is apparently problematic or some shit like that. But I just don't want you guys to be like, oh, we're definitely playing as this character and you don't know for sure. If you don't know for sure, then like, let's just wait and see what's confirmed. Because if it turns out the created character system actually, you know, is pretty depthful, you don't have to look anything like that character, then obviously all of this, like, oh, it's a self-insert, you know, that would be kind of... That would kind of be the point if you want to create yourself and put yourself in the game. But there's been a lot of speculation that this character in particular is like a self-insert from a game dev. Don't know if it's true personally. I don't want to necessarily jump to conclusions on any of this stuff. That's just simply what I'm saying here. Yo, Revenant! What's up with you? Dude looks like a lady. Apparently, it's claimed that it's a self-insert from a dev who is trans, who is male to female transgender. I don't necessarily know if it's true. This is just general speculation. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that it's true. I'm not gonna say that it's not. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to know. Yo, Crown, what's up with you? This is purposely being done by devs. You're not wrong. Like, this is like something we consistently see. Yo, Taylor, what's up with you? Iron Man, Rich, the Cringe Lord? Who's impersonating Iron Man? Is that what we doing here? Are you that much of a fucking loser you can't pretend to be... You can't actually be yourself? Yo, Solid Rev, what's up with you, homie? Yo, who we got impersonating one of my good homies? I don't like all that. That's some bitch-made mentality right there. That's bitch shit, man. I don't have to go on the internet pretending to be anyone else. I don't have to hide my face. People that choose to hide their face, I don't blame them for doing so, because we have dickheads like you pretending to be someone else. Y'all yeeted that motherfucker? Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't like that bullshit. I'm not gonna hide it. Look, you guys could come in here and pretend to be all these other people and be disrespectful, but look, at the end of the day, we're gonna have the last laugh. That's just what it is. I'm going to make fun of you, and everyone in the chat is going to laugh at you. Straight up. Yo, Solid Rev says, why do we gotta pretend everything is fine? I agree. And it has a lot to do with, honestly, most people are just scared to say we don't want this because of the social pressure that is involved in it. That's the sad thing. I'm saying straight up, I don't want this shit. I don't fucking want it. Lobo! Did you see the actress that they based the character on? I also saw that as well. Let's see. This apparently... They also say this, the model for the Fable trailer that people call ugly. But here's the thing, and this person is like disingenuous as hell too, because they're like, look at the model of the Fable trailer that people call ugly. Look at you now, you piece of shit. So this is the character, the ugly looking piece of shit character. This is the actress. She's pretty. What are you guys doing? Why are you making the characters ugly as fuck when they're based off of pretty looking women? This is a pretty girl. This
This is literally a pretty girl. Why does her character model look like a pile of shit? But apparently people are pieces of shit for pointing it out. Look at you now, you POS. Why does this character look like this, but the model looks like this? These are two totally different people. But apparently you're not allowed to ask these questions. She does, yo, Rep, she does look good. She does, that's crazy. It's crazy that they have this model who's a very pretty girl, but then they come up with a piece of shit character model. This is like someone saying 2 + 2 = 42. The math ain't mathing, but when you point that out, apparently you're a bad person. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Same thing happened to Abby. Her face model is cute also. I agree. It's crazy how they do her dirty with character model. They do this all the time. The actual model is always prettier, for the most part, than the actual character model. Strange because the giant Dave looked exactly like the actor. Oh, so Abby's face model actually is a streamer? Because they know most gamers are overstuffed basement dwellers. They just trying to match their audience, yo. Or some of the time trying to match themselves. Rev, I don't know. Yo, we were watching the indie showcase for Summer Game Fest. And I don't know if you've seen some of these devs, yo. Some of these devs, a lot of them look like soy boy men. They literally, they look like, bro. I don't understand where's the disconnect between regular, humankind 30 years ago versus humankind now. These people look like a bunch of fucking hippie losers, not for nothing. And I actually don't mind hippies, okay? But you guys, they literally look like a bunch of fucking hippie, they fit the soy boy cuck freaking... They followed it to a T. And it's like, these are the losers that are making our video games. And it's like, no wonder why none of us can relate to any of these characters that they make. Words of Paradise, I said it on Twitter. They made Claire Redfield ugly as fuck in RE2 remake. I don't remember if the actress was a babe, but the character model sure wasn't. But the internet acted like she was. Well, in comparison, here's the thing. I don't mind Claire's, image, the way she looks in the game in RE2. Especially since I've seen some horrifying character models that you're forced to play as. I mean, maybe that's because I'm comparing it to worse, but I didn't really mind her character model. Everybody making video games are weirdos. Oh, shit. You know what? At some point, our I guess it's true. I mean, yo, not for nothing. The way people dress modern days is weird to me. Very weird to me. And a lot of the things that I wear, just for me personally, are things that don't go out of style. I'll wear the denim jacket. I'll wear the leather jacket. I'll wear the Jordans, the classic Jordans, the numbered line. I wear the jeans. I wear things that never really go out of style. But things that are in style, most of that shit I wouldn't be caught dead wearing. It doesn't matter if it's women's clothes or men's clothes. everything about style now is just cringe to me. Cringe as hell. Yo, Jacob64, what's up, fam? The Fable trailer reminded me of Shrek. Yo, the Fable trailer just it was worthless. You gave me nothing. You gave me arguably less with this new trailer than when you just showed that really basic intro like a couple years ago. Yes, like wearing a snapback. A snapback never goes out of style. See, that's just me. I like to wear things that have always been in style, will likely always be in style. And plus, yo, you could have a leather jacket for 10 years and it'll still look relatively new. As long as you take care of it. If you hang it up, use the metal hanger, you actually treat it right, it'll still look practically new, 10 years later. That's always nice. Especially when you buy a pretty expensive leather jacket. Hell yeah, it's actual Rev. That's the homie right there. Shout out to Solid Rev. You wear jeans and unbranded t-shirt everywhere I go. Like, yeah, stuff that doesn't go out of style. Because, like, if I followed the trends, I would literally be depressed with the things I would have to wear. It's just not me. None of it is me. The way a lot of, like, trendy stuff is nowadays just comes off corny as me. That's just me. You do you guys. Yo, Miss Cannoli Sasquatch, what's good with you, fam? Hope you're having a good workout. Put in the work. You don't wear baseball caps? I'm open to, like, most sorts of hats. I don't know. It just depends. Society has gone to shit. Yo, Rev, we got Solid Rev and Revenant, so I'd be calling you both Rev. Michael Joe, what's good with you, bro? Bruh, oh my god, yo. I really appreciate y'all pulling up. I appreciate it so much, yo. People act like it's weird to see a man in a trench coat, t-shirt, jeans, and boots. Pretty normal look for someone who grew up listening to rock music, actually. I mean, those are things that are always gonna be, like, fashionable. I mean, like, look, if you are wearing a really long trench coat, though, I expect you to end up doing one of these. And either that could mean you're naked under there, or you literally got, like, all sorts of, like, fake IDs and guns just from your neck to toe. Like, that's kind of what I just expect. Yo, Ozna, what's good with you, bro? For real, unless you're a Ninja Turtle, trench coat means you're gonna oh no, don't say that, bro, don't say it. What are you buying? What are you selling? Trench coats are too suspicious. Yeah, I just expect you to either be naked or be selling something illegal. That's just what comes with it. Yeah, I almost said it too, bro. I almost said it too. But I don't know if this is the character model, because if they're saying, oh, this character is based off a character model and this is going to be the character going into the game, you have literally eliminated, I'm sure, a lot of people from even giving your game a try because your character model is fucking atrocious, ugly, disgusting. I would not play as this character, let alone even want to be anywhere near them. So, you guys over at, what is it, the Forza devs, please reconsider remodeling this character. Or at least doing a better job of doing what you set out to do. Because if you set out to put the model of this character in the game, you didn't do a good job. You didn't do close to a good job. People took Buttercup from Powerpuff Girls too seriously. I mean, to be fair, she's my favorite Powerpuff Girl. She's the tomboy. Everyone seems the worst of the guy in the trench coat. This is true. Yo, Zeno! Man, shout out to Zeno, the producer. If you guys hear my intro music, he is responsible for it. So it's all your fault, Zeno. But, bro, thank you so much to the 5. He says, hit the like button. Thank you so much, bro. Xeno always be looking out. That's just the dude right there. Always good to see Xeno. Randomized female orcs in Oblivion look better than that protagonist. This is true. And I'm the one that's I'm still dying for an Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake. I will always hope and pray for it. Always. Swap the Fable character with the racing car. I agree. I concur, Revenant. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Please clarify how the creative character system is, or if there is none. But real quick, guys, a lot of people saw my my most recent video of basically saying it's bullshit that we have no options in Starfield if you're playing on console. I personally feel as though 30 FPS is the bottom of the barrel, and that shouldn't be the only option in gaming. We've come to the point now where there should be options. Now, Starfield is a game that, look, is it pushing gaming in some pretty interesting ways? Yes. Yes, indeed, it is. But can we at least try and make some kind of compromises so people that are into, prefer, obviously, visual fidelity can have it their way, but people that also prefer, better performance can also have an option too? Like, can we try and have, both be appeased in some way, shape, or form, or at least the developers try? Can y'all at least try to give people an option here? Because it just seems like Todd Howard himself said, look, you gonna get what we gonna give you and you're gonna like it. And personally, I don't like that. I don't think that's cool. For the most part, it's sad to say, I just feel like I wasted $500 on a Series X because I normally just like to buy everything. So I don't have any limitation on what I can and can't play. So I do sadly feel like I just wasted a lot of money. That I probably should. I need to be smarter with my money, because honestly, like the Series X is one big piece of shit at this point. And I don't think the PS5 is any better, really. Especially when they don't give you options. And I understand that some people, that's their only option. Either, getting a console or getting nothing, and I get that. I understand. That's why I think it's important to actually communicate to devs that people like certain things in gaming. Not every console gamer is the same. Not every PC gamer is the same. If you ask, fucking 10 different people why they like PC gaming, they're all gonna give you a different answer. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button, it really helps me out. But I'm ending the poll. We have 45 votes. And 44% of you all voted for Aloy. And that's crazy. Tomato-faced Aloy. I can't say that I blame you. I can't say I blame you. I think she might be the better of the three, but all three are genuinely atrocious options. And not because they're women, but because they're insufferable to look at, let alone to want to play as. Yo, Sandor, what's good with you, bro? Scargut, good to see you. Cord says the next Xbox will probably just be a list of PC specs. Words of Paradise says 30 FPS is fine if the overall game is good. PS2 games still hold up on their native console. There's things more important than FPS. Now, if the game sucks and FPS is bad, that's a different story. So, I do go back to my PS2 quite a bit. And I will say, there are definitely a good bit of games that don't even hit 30. Path of Neo, for example, the Matrix Path of Neo, awesome game. You could just play the intro alone and be like, oh my god, the frame rate is disgusting. It's like we've been through 30 for so long. It's like, why is it that
30 is still the only option. They tout that the new consoles, every generation, the new consoles are going to do things that previous consoles never did before. Please hand us your fucking money. And then you find out later on, well, it does the same fucking shit that the last console did. It's just new games attached to it. That's kind of just the shitty thing about it. There's different sorts of gamers that prioritize different sorts of things. And I feel as though it's not hard to at least offer more than one option. It doesn't have to be 5 options. It doesn't have to be 10 options. Just at least give someone the option. Like, for example, Hogwarts Legacy offers like 4 different options of how to play the game. There's like, there's the basic, high res option that's 30 FPS. There's like one that kind of is in the middle, like, I don't know what it is. There's one with ray tracing. There's the performance option, and there's like the super performance option. The regular performance option, I think, hits 60. Then there's another option that hits 120. And it's like, please at least offer an option. Especially when you were touting that this console can do everything, everything, power your dreams. But if your dream is to play games at above 30 FPS, you're fucked. If that's your dream. If that was your dream. Yo, Resign, what's good with you? You said it's Fallout 4 in space. I think it's more, like, there's a lot more to it than it just simply being like all their other previous games. Now, is it an open world sandbox? Yes, it's an open universe sandbox. There's a lot of different things there. 60 FPS should be the standard. I think for the mass majority of games, it should. Now, if there's a game that's really pushing it, doing something insane, I think honestly Starfield is doing some insane shit. Do I think that a $500 console can really push everything, push this game to hit 60? Maybe. Consistently? I don't know. But can we at least have like an attempt? Can you at least try to give us a 60 FPS option? Or you could, hell, maybe 40 FPS locked. 10 extra frames can make the experience seem a good bit smoother. Especially if it is locked. But they didn't even want to do that. They just told you, the consumer, the gamer, that you're going to accept playing it at 30. Because we want it to be that way. We don't want to give you an option. We're telling you what you're going to play it as. And too bad. That's the crap thing about it. Taylor says sold the Series X last month was the right call for me. I don't blame you. Mine just collects dust. I was literally trolling someone in chat the other day because they were like an X bot. And I said, and apparently they were upset because I said, yes, the Xbox showcase was better than the PlayStation showcase, but by a little bit. By a little bit. Apparently that wasn't enough. So they got really stupid in chat, and so I just trolled them for like 5 minutes. Straight. Yes, our boy Metal, R.I.P. He got a little too disrespectful. You're asking for devs to push limits. I just want them to actually try to accommodate more different types of gamers. That's what I'm saying. High frame rate is objectively better for gameplay. 30 FPS means you can't afford to buy a PC and can't enjoy games the way they are meant to be played. And that's the thing, like with this game, you could choose to either play it in third or first person. A game at 30 FPS means essentially you've eliminated the first person option. Playing a game in first person at 30 is disgusting. It's pitiful. But still no excuse. Look at No Man's Sky, though. Well, here's the thing. Like,
how does No Man's Sky go about performing the processes that it's performing? How many different processes is it trying to perform? And how does it accommodate everything that's going on in the universe all at once? That I think those are the questions that need to be asked. And how does that compare to Starfield? How do those engines compare to each other? I'm not, like, I can't sit here and say I'm a dev, I know all this stuff. I don't. But yes, I think most of us can agree that 60 FPS is trash. It is the bottom of the barrel. In some instances, like 30 FPS isn't so bad. Like, if you're playing a turn-based RPG, that, like, 30 FPS, I would like to, you know, be extra. But, like, for that type of game, I mean, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But, like, this is a game where you could literally play it in first person with first person shooting. It can be in third person, but, like, why do you have to force people to play at the bare minimum? Just because you want to push fidelity. But a lot of people kept saying, well, why don't you look at the Digital Foundry analysis of the game? And I did. But real quick, we can go through it. And I will give my own thoughts on what Digital Foundry said, because that was the answer to it all. Oh, well, you should look at Digital Foundry's analysis. Then you would clearly have a different opinion, or you know nothing. Go look at Digital Foundry. So let's look at Digital Foundry. Let's see what they have to say.
And I think, John, we should start with the big elephant in the room, and which came out and was not actually as a part of the Direct. And that was after the fact. Basically, the information came out that the game would be targeting 30 FPS on Xbox Series console.
Starfield runs at 30 FPS on Xbox Series S and X, director confirms. Tad Howard says the game can hit 60 FPS, but it's locked for consistency. So it can hit 60 FPS. Would it be consistent? It does not seem so. Now, can they scale back some things to at least try to achieve some form of consistency? Maybe. I don't know. Does it have to necessarily be 60 FPS? Can you aim for 40 FPS? Could you at least give people some fucking option?
Consoles on Xbox Series X and Series S, and specifically the things were named of 30 FPS at 4K output on Xbox Series X and 30 FPS at 1440p output on Xbox.
And that's on the Series S. Now, here's my question. Is the Series S what is affecting the ability for them to make a decision? Because not for nothing, I think one of the dumbest things about the Series consoles is that this right here, the Series S, if it's holding back the Series X, the console that people paid more money for, what is it, like $150 more for? If people that chose to cheap out and buy the cheaper model, if it comes to a point where the cheaper model is holding back the more expensive model, why is it that the people that paid more are having to suffer with the people that paid less? I don't know if that's the case. I feel like it could be the case. They don't want to say it. They're afraid to say it. They don't want to say it. But I would like some clarification here. Is the Series S holding back the Series X? Because I feel like they could make some changes, especially since the game is hitting 4K. And obviously this is looking like it's going to be a CPU heavy game. And I understand that. So I think that's why particularly this game can hit 4K. So the GPU is not being as taxed as the CPU. But is there some form of, can you do some things? Can you scale back some things in order to hit a higher frame rate? And if so, if you can, then why isn't it happening? Is it because of the Series X? You can't do that with the Series. Is it because of the Series S? You can't do that because the Series S would be like, the resolution would be that much, like, super duper low. If that's the case, then the reason why you will not compromise that fucking sucks. GPU recommended is a 2080 Ti. I did see that. You're not fucking lying, Michael Wells. Series S is a paperweight if services are down. This is facts, too. But we don't want to have these conversations. We'd rather just live in ignorance. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that both consoles are probably a paperweight if the internet's down. And yeah, I think the Series S was a mistake. I'm not going to lie. They're not going to admit to that. I would love some clarification. I would like to know the truth. I think that's what a lot of us want to hear. We want to know what the fuck the truth is.
Series S, John. So what do you think about all that?
This created quite a conversation around it, a tempest in a teapot, if you will, regarding the frame rate and 30 frames per second. And it's something that's kind of been building up since, I would say, last year with, I think Gotham Knights sort of triggered this discussion again.
Wow.
Which it was one of the first.
Another piece of shit game. Here's the thing. So all these games, the most noteworthy of games that are being locked at 30 FPS, a lot of the time they're just unfinished games. Now, that was with Gotham Knights. That's with Redfall. And you know what? I'll save that one for later, because this is just one of many questions that I have.
First big new gen exclusive games, 30 frames per second only. And then we've seen several other games come with the same limitation, and I am unsurprised to discover that Starfield is the same. But we've also seen this discussion of like, well, DF, why is it okay for a game like Starfield to be 30 frames per second, but then another game you might cover you would expect to be 60? And I think this is part of the conversation that's often lost. And it's somewhat of a nuanced topic, because the frame rate of a game is I've always maintained, an actual design decision. Hardware going back to the 80s has no problem executing games at 60 frames per second, right? Like that's always been the case. It all comes down to what the developer's trying to do, basically the maximum frame rate they can achieve their vision.
Mind you, he said frame rate is a design decision. Design decision. He maintains that. So a lot of people were throwing this video at me saying, you should actually watch this so you know what you're talking about. And they literally confirmed that I'm not necessarily wrong. Frame rate is a design decision. Consoles way the fuck back could also do 60. Some of them, matter of fact, did have games that ran at 60 FPS. So it is a design decision to make the game run at 30 because fidelity. Astro Cyborg said, I finished that yesterday, and honestly, the reviews were way too generous to Gotham Knights. I'm not at all surprised. And that was a $70 game. I don't know, man. Why is it that there's just always issues in gaming now? Like, why is it that we get really fucked up games? We get sold on hopes and dreams of higher frame rates, freaking better resolutions, and then we're still stuck with the same shit. The same disappointment. I'm just saying, man, there's no consistency here from the companies selling us this shit down to the fanboys that cap for it. There is no consistency. Yo, fuck Norris, what's good with you, bro? Frame rate on console is a hardware limitation. I mean, I guess the only limitation for frame rate on the console is that, at least for the Xbox and PlayStation consoles, it will not exceed 120 FPS. The limit is 120 hertz. That's the limit presented. That was what it sold to you on. I'm just saying, generally speaking, it is a design choice for them to pick 30 over 60.
With Starfield is a very large scale open universe game, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
that is designed for object permanence.
By the way, yo, what's up, Cannoli Sasquatch? Hope you're doing well today, bro. Jeff Gaming, what's good with you? If there were limits, why does Street Fighter 6 run at 60 FPS? It's one of those things where it's hard to say. Like, I can't, like, I understand that there's a lot going on with this game all of the time. It's not just simply, it's not just, well, they have this 1,000 planet universe and they're just going to concentrate the power all to this one planet that you're on. Apparently, it takes into account all of the planets all of the time. So that's not something that's simple. I'm completely understanding of that. But can we find some form of compromise here? That's just all I'm fucking asking. Is there a way to can you offer a compromise so that people can be accommodated to what they like in gaming? If it be a slightly higher frame rate, if it be 40 FPS, 60 FPS, can we have some form of attempt at this? You take PC gaming more seriously if I fully owned games. I mean, it's a difficult thing to gauge, you know? Steam, I will say this, I feel more confident in my Steam library, in having my Steam library, than I feel about my PlayStation digital library, my Xbox digital library, and that's because, well, Steam is more like laissez-faire. Like, the way Steam handles itself, like, they don't really care what you say. They don't really give a shit about any of that. Now, obviously, their TOS, I'm sure, accommodates for that, but, I mean, you could be in a PSN lobby, you could say something someone don't like, and you could be reported to PlayStation for it, and the next day, your account could be terminated. I just personally, that's how I feel. Personally, I have more confidence that I will retain my Steam library than I would my PlayStation digital library.
And just managing so many different interlocking systems to create this like whole.
Exactly, Michael Wells, because it is open source. That is a big deal. Like, I don't have to go through Steam to buy games. I can go to one of like 10 different sites that I know and get the cheapest Steam key, and then put that Steam key into Steam and collect my game.
Wholly immersive experience. And we've seen this stuff in their prior games as well, but obviously it's been expanded. And on Twitter, I mentioned this, the sandwich conversation, right? In the Direct, there was this joke about how one of the developers was a sandwich pirate. They were stealing sandwiches, dropping them on a table, and they showed that. And everybody laughed. It was a goofy little thing. But I think that's something that's really important that deserves kind of a clarification, because their games are designed to store the object position of any random item that you can pick up within the game world. This is a big task, right? You can drop anything and it has physics properties assigned to it, and that location is then stored.
There is no secret here that there was one bitch with all the sandwiches. Clearly, someone put her to work. I'm just saying. But they're explaining that there is a lot to it than meets the eye. And I completely understand that. Yo, Verge, what's good with you, bro? Taylor says the account getting banned from the service. Goodbye, game library. I look at my shelf and see physical games that cannot be taken from me, and that's why that's only ever been my concern. And I completely agree with you. That's why I do have a pretty big library of games on my hand. Yo, Gordon Hammer, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much for the 5. He says, Todd says this will run at 4K. What are the chances at release that Digital Foundry finds that to be more Todd Bull or creative tricks to reach 4K? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if it's not true 4K. It's like checkerboarded. Who the fuck knows, right? I will say this, guys. The reality is, look at Bethesda's history. Look at Todd Howard's history. Todd Howard is one of the biggest lying pieces of shit in all of gaming. Okay, as someone that's played a lot of Bethesda's open world RPG games, I am very familiar with the lying bullshit that is spewed out of Todd Howard's mouth. After Fallout 4, I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't be like super optimistic anymore, okay? After playing Fallout 4, that game broke me. But we're definitely going to get into more of that. But just to go back to once again, Gordon, thank you so much for the 5. Totally didn't have to, bro. To go back to what Taylor said, I completely agree with you. That's why I have a pretty damn big library of games. I'm always like super hyped to expand that library. That's my goal. I love collecting video games. I love collecting things that I love for the physical preservation purpose. And it's true what you're saying. Like, you know, at any point they could just delete your account and that's it. It's gone. Like, I totally understand that. But at the same time, too, like, just think of it this way. A tornado can run through my town and destroy all the houses and destroy all my shit, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, any variable can happen at any time. But for me personally, and you could feel differently, I'm more confident in my Steam library than I am with Xbox's library and with PlayStation's library. That's just me personally. But I do, if I really do value a game, first off, I want to play it on the most powerful hardware that I own, which is PC preferably, but I also do like to get a physical copy. So games that I really, really like, I end up buying 2 copies of at some point or another. 1 digital, 1 physical. That's just me personally, if I really value the game. The Fable character was eating a sandwich too. Oh man. It's not wrong. The Zen 2 CPU isn't that amazing. Specifically, the console Zen 2 APU, that it's worse than the PC's one. So that Starfield can do all. The fact that Starfield can do all of this is amazing. And Retro, I agree with you. Like, I think that all the stuff that they want to do is really insane. Like, they are aiming super duper high. And I get it. Like, I do get it. I get that this is a lot. This is a lot on a console. But I'm just saying, like, can we scale back some things? If it be 2 different game modes even. And I get, you know, if, like, you would consider this after release, just to give people that option. Or if you want, like, a small frame rate hike. It, you know, just locked 40 and you scale back some things. I'm not, you know, asking for the world here. I'm at least saying to take into account that there are different sorts of gamers that play on everywhere. That play on PlayStation, that play on an Xbox, that play on PC, that play on Switch. The Switch, you know, I don't really get on the Switch's ass because, well, it's a fucking portable handheld device that some of them can be projected to your TV. That's the only reason why the Switch doesn't get the smoke from me. Todd Howard is a god amongst us, mere mortals. God Howard! Hold on 1 sec, guys. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm just gonna let Ziggy out. Ziggy, come here, buddy. Ziggy, go ahead. Go finish your dinner, buddy. The doggos ain't gonna eat you. Go ahead. Go finish your dinner. Go hang out downstairs. It's not a bug. It's a feature. Guess what, guys? I accepted that in Fallout 4 when I couldn't start the Brotherhood of Steel questline because it glitched before I could even start it, and I didn't know how far back it could glitch. I didn't know how far back it actually did glitch, so I had no idea how many of my 20+ save files I had to go back to in order to be able to access that questline. Yeah, it wasn't a glitch. It was actually a feature. Dixon Setter says I lie about other stuff too. It's the wee Ziglord, yeah. He's afraid of the doggos, so I just let him chill in my room while the doggos are out, and when the doggos are in, we let him out. Todd Howard always talks about pushing the limits while pushing the limits on the game. Yeah, I just feel like they're aiming so high And that's what they do with like all of the games. Like even down to shit like Oblivion. Like Oblivion, they sold us on so much bullshit that didn't even make it to the final game because they are aiming super high. They don't have realistic expectations. And guess what? Every game release comes up fucked up in some way, shape, or form. Doesn't have all the shit that they promised. And a lot of the time is just they tried to do too much and it never pans out. It's like, why don't you actually like have realistic expectations or closer to realistic expectations? Oh man, derp, man. The shame is, look, Oblivion is one of my favorite games ever made. Despite all the shit they promised beforehand, I didn't even know any of the shit they promised beforehand. I actually found out after the fact. Despite all the shit that they promised beforehand, despite all the flaws the game had, that was my addiction for 3+ years of my life. But it also comes with the fact that it introduced bullshit monetization schemes. Sometimes you have to limit one thing to push the limits of another. That's not just gaming. But this is at... But like, here's the thing. This is at the discrepancy of the blatant ignorance that you're trying to sell a product to people. Like a lot of people, they don't want to just play at 30 FPS now. A lot of people have been sold on these consoles on the promise that you're going to have 60 FPS. Anything up to 120 FPS. This is what a lot of console gamers were sold on. And now it's just like, well, you've been sold the fucking lie. And it's just like, this is why console gaming is for suckers. And I'm one of them. I'm one of them, guys. I bought both of them. I have a Series X that collects dust and a PS5 that, well, I'm going to have to suffer playing Final Fantasy 16 with unstable frame rate. But here's the thing. At least with Final Fantasy 16, they fucking tried to give us a 60 FPS option. It's a fucked up 60, but it is at least an option. Didn't have time to push the limits to where the game will feel like shit. Yeah, I mean, if you want the ultimate freedom, PC is the way to go, man. It's not just about power, it is about freedom. It's about you have the choice, not the developers. Oblivion is amazing. I'm not putting it down. Bruh. Oh man, I love Oblivion. All of its flaws and everything. And honestly, when I was gushing, when they showed off like the references to Oblivion and Starfield, I was gushing. Your biggest fan and kicking him off the ledge, a classic for Oblivion. Gotta love it, man. I love the little things like that. They're trying to pull at your heartstrings, all while trying to sell you on some bullshit to you. Oh man, it's crazy, right? Yes, gushing. Gushing with joy, good sir. I think Bethesda should at least give us an unlocked FPS like Final Fantasy 16 that runs between 30-60 in performance mode. With FSR, you can get smoothness even with frame rate inconsistency, but these TVs are expensive. And to be honest with you, look, I have a TV that has all the modern features, a 65-inch TV. I paid $1,000 for it. It's a Hisense TV. Don't get me wrong, these are expensive upgrades, no doubt. But a lot of people think that you need to spend like $2 grand, $3 grand for a nice big ass TV that has all these features. There are definitely affordable TVs out there that utilize all the modern features of gaming, including VRR. My TV has VRR support. It has 120 hertz support. It has HDMI 2.1. It has Dolby Vision if you have like movies that support it. The one shitty thing about the Series X, there's a shit thing about the PS5. It has no Dolby support at all. So that's a piece of shit if you have physical copies of films that you want to watch with Dolby Vision, because Dolby Vision, guys, is amazing for film. And here's where the Series X almost had it, but fails to, because it does have Dolby Vision support, but not for physical media. So I want, like, when I figured that out, and I figured it out after the fact, I wanted to yeet my Series fucking X out of a window. You need a newer TV with all the newest features. I would say that it would be nice. Like, you have to get, so the main thing you got to get, Cannoli, is a TV that has HDMI 2.1 support. It's got to have a 2.1 HDMI port on it, at least one. And then you make sure it has variable refresh rate support, 120 hertz support, so 120 FPS. Yeah, I definitely got your point, bro. No problem. Anytime your game is running above 120 FPS, well, you're time traveling. That it's facts, bro. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. For me, honestly, on PC, more often than not, I like to settle for a nice 90 FPS. I actually prefer that. Like, for that, I can kind of, like, with most games, 90 FPS can have a nice 1440p, decent settings overall. I think 90 FPS is pretty fucking nice. I don't necessarily need 120. It's cool to have 120. It's cool to go above 120, but I normally settle at 90. All right, Zeno, take care of yourself. Have a good night, bro. Appreciate you pulling up and hanging out with us. Take care, bro. Been looking for a Hisense U8 8U series. I have a Hisense U8G, I believe. Pretty damn good. I'm very happy with it. And a TV that's more than 60 hertz. Facts. The Legend 350. What's up, chat? Hi, Cage. New to your chat. Hey, appreciate you pulling up, Legend. Hope you're doing well today. Talos! What's good with you, bro? Hope you're doing well. It's really good to see you guys as usual. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's a great TV. It's a great TV for a great price. Honestly. I don't like to overpay for shit. Personally, to me, I didn't want to go for like the only thing that the UAG doesn't have is like it's not OLED. So it's a beautiful picture, very, very bright and vibrant, but it's not OLED. To me, I don't necessarily need an OLED because, well, they kind of burn out pretty fast. So I'd rather have a TV that has longevity, still has a bright, beautiful picture, just doesn't have that OLED picture, which is a bit of a downgrade, but I'd rather take the longevity over the, you know, the really, really super bright, ultra crazy, burns your fucking eyes out of your brain TV. That's just me personally. Yes, HDR of at least 400. The Hisense I have, the brightness is insane. The brightness, I think, actually beats some OLEDs. That's pretty crazy. I'm doing good, Talos. Just chilling with y'all. It's always a good time chilling with you guys. But we're just listening to Digital Foundry sort of give their thoughts on Starfield and what they showed thus far. Because this is particularly what a lot of people referenced as a response to them disagreeing with my most recent video. So
this is actually something not new for Creation Engine games, and in fact it goes back to something like Morrowind, where I remember my younger sister took over, who was a fiend for that game. She took over all of Balmora, killed everyone, took one of the houses, and then started essentially, well, she took multiple houses and made a house for each type of item. Like, this is the house where I lay all the swords out on the table. This is the house where I put, you know what I mean? Yeah. That kind of stuff. Well, Starfield being as large as it is now, they, I suppose, have to track this sort of stuff across the entire game world, which is,
Universe.
is 1,000 planets, yeah. They said. Is that right?
And who even knows about, like, you know.
Maybe they just aim too high with 1,000 planets. Because, like they're saying, like, the Creation Engine has to account for all the things happening across all these planets. So maybe hell, I don't know if you could scale back the planets and have like a specific mode for higher frame rate and then a specific mode for strictly fidelity. I don't know if that's something that is a worthy compromise. I can't say for sure. Because let's be real now, most of us aren't going to spend the next 10 years exploring every fucking planet in the game. Most of us aren't. There will definitely be some of those dedicated individuals, and you do you. Play the game, you know, at the 30, and with all the planets. But like, you know, I would play the game, if it's a good game, I would play it for a long time, but I don't even think with that amount of time I would put in, I would visit all the planets. That's just me personally. The legend says, I'm doing well, hope you are too. Awesome to meet another content creator. I'm working on my YouTube video for my channel about being unhappy not having an option to do 60 FPS. Hey, definitely make your video, put your thoughts out there. You know, be honest, even if shit. I got a little bit of pushback for it, but hey, I was well. It is what it is. I just put my thoughts out there. So definitely I would love to hear your thoughts. I did just subscribe to your channel, by the way, so I definitely will check out your content when I do get a chance. But it's good to meet you. A 1,000 planets at 30 FPS is kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie. The engine right now, yes, is dead. It is a skeleton. OJ90 says, bruh, 50 planets sounds a lot, much less 1,000. That's way too much. So here's my thing. I'm wondering, like, why are they specifically pushing for these 1,000 planets? Is it that, like, they want to create this ecosystem that you have to go find planets to get to mine specific stuff, to get specific gear? Like, I could understand, you know, that they want to have certain things on certain planets, right? Like that, I can completely get where they're coming from on that front. So is the 1,000 planets necessary? I can't say for sure. We haven't played the game yet, right? I don't want to jump to conclusions. I'm just raising questions and want to wait for more information. Like, is the 1,000 planets necessary? It seems over the top, and I would think in most instances it's probably not necessary. But for what they're going for how these systems are, for what they're trying to do with the longevity of the game, what you have to be set out to do, like, does it make sense on why there's 1,000 planets? I can't say. I'm not too sure. To sound impressive, that's it? Telling more lies? That could be the case. It could be. The engine is breaking, Bethesda's like, let's put some stuff in this game. Hope the planets aren't all the same. Yeah, I really hope that's not the case. If all the planets are the same, then clearly that would very likely mean that, yeah, there's no reason for all these planets to be in the game. So I will say, for one, there better not be copy and paste of planets. If that's the case, oh, you're gonna get that smoke. Michael asked, did you see the Black Bond getting ratioed over his opinion of Final Fantasy 16? One man's opinion has everyone upset. I did see it. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was funny. Black Bond has this particular personality. Sometimes he says some shit that's like, okay, I kind of understand where you're coming from with that. And then other times he says some shit that definitely be getting some people mad. He has a lot of conviction in his takes. Some of them make sense. Some of them are absolutely insane. 1,000 planets for what? That's what I'm asking. I'm simply asking, why is there 1,000 planets? Is there a justifiable reason? I think that's a fair question, right? A lot of those planets are gonna look like Mars. Yeah, but like, what's on them that justifies their existence? That's really what it is. I think that's what we want to know. Like, what is on them? How is this universe? If I'm like someone, if I'm living out my day-to-day life, what is going to convince me to have to go visit these planets? Is there something specific to mine? Is there something specific to do? Are all these planets unique in their own way that gives them a reason to possibly want to be visited? Can at least the planets justify their own existence? I think that's the first and most important question to ask. Because you could say, oh, there's 1,000 planets, but if a lot of them are copy and paste, if a lot of them are pretty much useless, then what is the point?
Like deep space stations and things. There's a lot in there. So,
but I think there's more to it as well. That goes beyond just item permanence. Like the underlying systems here are going to be complex, right?
AI, they show people in the cities. They go into rather large cities with a number of AI just kind of walking around, and the fact that you can just go out into the wilderness then thereafter, transition kind of, without any loading screens and things like that, something which previous games didn't necessarily have. And I want to bring up what Todd Howard said specifically here to mention why a 30 FPS cap. And I agree with everything John said. I think the game design decision here is what makes this 30 FPS.
It is a game design decision. So if any one of my comments continues to say, oh, you're wrong, go look at Digital Foundry. They explain to you why. And they literally say it is a design fucking choice. Leon says, shit, that's deep, Cassie. Can the planets justify their own existence? I mean, can Earth even justify its own existence? I think by the day, us disgusting human beings lose our own reason to exist, let alone for this planet to exist. Yo, what's good with you, Mez? Damn, could have used this during shit, bro. It's good to see you nonetheless, bro. Hope you had a good day. Boring ass looking game. I'm sorry. It's like, for me, I have to admit, Starfield looks better than when you first showed it off. So, like, on that front, I'm actually interested. Now, if this game don't run well on PC, do you think I'm gonna sit here and play that shit at 30? Fuck no. I ain't gonna sit there and play that shit at 30. And here's a big thing too. When a lot of people say, "Oh, well, don't compare Starfield to Redfall." Redfall was a completely unoptimized mess, and that's why it ran at 30. Knowing everything that we've known about Bethesda for as far back as I can remember, when it comes to them making these open world experiences that they've had, when have they ever released a well-optimized open world RPG game at launch? Now, I'm not saying that Starfield will be broken at launch or that Starfield will be unoptimized at launch. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just simply pointing at Bethesda's garbage-ass fucking track record, because that's what it is. They've had a terrible track record. You can go back many games now with their open world RPGs, and they have all released effed up. So while I'm not assuming anything, I think, matter of fact, I think that this might actually be one of their more optimized games in comparison to some of their other ones. But who the fuck are you to assume that Starfield will be well optimized at launch? Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Who knows? The game could come out and it could run pretty damn well given what is presented. Or it could come out like Fallout 76, like Fallout 4, like freaking Skyrim, like Fallout 3. Hell, the remaster. I played the remaster of Skyrim. It had some of the same bugs and glitches that the original release had. The remaster. But we just gonna assume that it's gonna be completely optimized and free of bugs and glitches, unlike Redfall. We're just gonna assume that. And look, it seems like they've been working on optimizing this game far longer than possibly their previous games. But you have to also understand the reality that this game is far bigger than all the other games they've done prior. So they could put double the time into optimization and bug squashing, or triple the time. But this game is far bigger than anything else they've done before. That's all I'm saying. I wish for the best. I hope the game comes out running like a dream day one. But am I going to assume that it will come out broken or come out, or come out perfectly running? I'm not going to assume either. I'm playing that shit by ear. Them sandwiches didn't even have the condiments. Bethesda's garbage, the sky is blue, water is wet, the corn dogs are awesome. I think Bethesda is putting too much trust into AI. AI, it's not there yet. 1,000 planets, absolutely AI generated. Facts. There's definitely AI generation going on there. Oh yeah, I'm interested to see a genuine deep breakdown of how that fucking game runs. I hardly ever played those games. It doesn't bother me. I got you.
And Todd Howard's statement about it reinforces why, though, 30 FPS.
Yes.
So I'm going to read this off here. I think it'll come as no surprise, given our previous games, what we go for. All these huge open worlds, fully dynamic, hyper-detailed, where anything can happen. And we do want to do that. It's 4K on the Series X and 1440p on the S. We do lock it at 30 because we want that fidelity. We want all that stuff. So that's talking about like the world. It's not just talking about the resolution.
Right. I think that's a lot of confusion, right? He says the word fidelity, you think just graphics, but clearly, as he just noted, there's more to it than that.
Yeah, and we don't want to sacrifice any of that. Fortunately, in this one, we've got it running great. It's often running way above that. Sometimes it's 60, but on the consoles, we do lock it because we prefer the consistency where you're not even thinking about it. So John and I are always advocating for consistency in games, especially on consoles where VRR is not a given necessarily, and unlocked frame rates between or going up to 60, for example, when they're in that no man's land of 40 to 50 FPS with no VRR on, you're not getting a really good looking experience, honestly. You may be getting...
But here's the thing. So I do understand where they're coming from. So they do theoretically, because who knows if the game will even run consistently at 30. They're claiming it will, so we'll assume their claims are true, that Starfield runs at a flawless 30 FPS. With being in space, with being in these different worlds, with the space battles. Despite all that, locked 30, right? So you have your consistency option. Now they're saying, yeah, the inconsistency can kind of suck. Especially, and he specifically says, especially when you're in that 40 to 50 FPS range with no VRR support. Now, the Xbox has VRR support. It's actually, from what I do know, better than even the PS5's version of VRR support. So you're basically saying the people that have VRR compatible televisions that have the VRR capable hardware, you're not even giving them the opportunity. You're not even giving them the opportunity. Because a VRR supported, FPS that's above 30 but doesn't quite hit that 60, it can feel, relatively smooth, even though it isn't on paper with that VRR support. You're not even giving us the opportunity. And that's just my problem with that. That's my problem. You have all these new consoles that have all these new features, but you're afraid to let the gamer take advantage of them. Or they need VRR support just to have a smooth 30. It could be that too. Who knows? If this game doesn't hit a smooth 30, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be damn ugly. Because it's definitely going to show that they aimed far too high with this game. Do Bethesda's games come out broken? Yes. Do they come out unplayable? No. I mean, rarely. Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, all were minor issues at launch. Fallout 76 is the exception, not the rule. I mean, it depends. So everyone's experience tends to be different. My Fallout 4 experience was particularly catastrophic. Literally, I could not even start a quest line that happened to be the main quest line of the main group that I wanted to side with. So that was literally catastrophic to my entire playthrough. I was too far in to say, fuck it, I'll just restart. And I wasn't going to restart a broken-ass game. And this is many months after the fact, mind you. And so it's just everyone's experience happens to be different. I agree, Colt. If the console has VRR, you could buy VRR TVs. The game should have unlocked frame rate with some resolution and fidelity compromises. Yeah, like, at least give people the option, man. You got the fucking hardware and the software. There's hardware and new hardware and new software out there. Let motherfuckers take advantage of it. We bought it. We have all this stuff. Give us the chance. 76 is also the last one they made. That's also true. And mind you, this is the biggest open world they've ever made. Open universe. Okay, not just open world. Many worlds. Xbox has VRR, so why don't they use it? My question is, are they using VRR support just to stabilize 30?
You may be getting an input latency experience that is okay enough, but you're not getting a visually pleasing experience.
And I think we've seen this recently with two games. Well, one game and a demo. So there's the Star Wars Jedi Survivor and then the Final Fantasy 16 demo.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Both of these games have a quality mode and then they have a performance mode. And the performance mode...
And you know what's great about that? Despite the game being broken as fuck, at least they gave the player the option. Neither option was necessarily great or good, at least at launch. But hey, they gave the player the option. That's all we're asking for, right? Some options.
In both cases, I found to be, frankly, not good enough. It's very unstable. It does not feel great. It often falls out of the VRR range on the PlayStation 5. It's not the way I would want to play. And in those cases, I would say, go with the quality mode, 30 frames per second, steady, good motion blur. That's the way it should be.
Moneybag97 says 80% of people don't own 4K TVs. And guess what? That means they can have that higher frame rate option because their fucking TV doesn't even have 4K to begin with. So why not go for the 60 FPS option? It's not like their TVs are 30 FPS. Their TV is 60 FPS. So why not allow even those people to indulge in the higher frame rate option? They don't need HDMI 2.1 to achieve 60 FPS. So if they have an old decrepit pile of shit TV that can at least do 60, why not even give them the option to play the game at 60? These consoles are pretty much budget PCs, so it's BS that devs are still not giving them the option to play with their settings. They are budget PCs with no options.
Given what we have, even though you would like to see a stable 60, it's preferable to have a stable 30 versus an unstable 60 in most cases. But I will say...
And it would be nice if we just had the option and we could just make that decision for ourselves. That's all I'm saying there.
In the case of Starfield, given that the Xbox's VRR support, I think, is better implemented than on PlayStation, or at least it works better at a system level. The PlayStation can support low frame rate compensation, but it requires the developer to do extra legwork. Here, it's automatic. So I kind of would like to see an...
So theoretically, since the game isn't coming to PS5, it would be they wouldn't have to work as hard to give us the option than they otherwise would have if the game was also coming to PlayStation.
Uncapped frame rate option, at least up to 60, maybe more, just for VRR. I don't know if they could make that work, but I feel like that would actually be an okay experience, maybe.
Yeah.
So even they're saying maybe if they just gave us the option, maybe it wouldn't be so bad, given Xbox Series consoles have better VRR support than PS5. But people are telling me that I'm wrong and that I should watch this video because it proves me wrong. This is how fucking dumb people are. Anyway. Sendo! What's up, Sendo? Hope you're doing well. The casuals don't care. Maybe they shouldn't be listened to. Yeah, the casuals don't even freaking talk about this shit. They just play the game to begin with anyway. And it's not even the casuals that are ruining it. Here's the problem. We have a pretentious prick that's been around the gaming industry forever, a lying sack of shit named Tad Howard that's trying to tell you how he's going to make you experience Starfield. That's really what it boils down to. But I digress. This literally supports what I initially said in my video, that it would just be nice to have an option, even if it isn't the biggest leap of options, even if it's just a 40 FPS option. At least there's an option. At least it looks like they tried. But man, the corporate cocksucking will continue. And say, for example, if the option is ass, well, at least it's there. Some people would actually still opt for it, even if it's ass. And if it's bad, well, you could just switch it back. Or you can be like, hey, we have a performance mode. It's in beta because it's kind of trash. If you'd like to try it, go for it. Or we will implement this performance mode later on. We just want to make sure that we can, do what we need to do, make the sacrifices we need in order to achieve it in a reasonable state. But hey, motherfuckers gonna cap. They're gonna cap because look, even though these were the same people saying, "Oh, my box is better than your box." Oh, it's my 12 teraflops. Where's your 12 teraflops now? Does that really matter at the end of the day? They just go with any fucking narrative that they are spoon-fed. That's the problem. Any narrative they are spoon-fed, they take it and run. All to justify their brand of choice. Man, at least be invested in their stock. I just hope that some of these people at least invest in their stock. Yo, Donald Duck, what's up, homie? Good to see you. God Howard will lead the wild into the ways of the man. Oh, man. Jesus. God Howard, man. Shout out to God Howard. The bullshit artist he's always been. Gotta love it, right? Still people eating it up. But here's something I thought was actually kind of literally crazy. You know that whole concept of review bombing? Personally, something to me that doesn't matter at all by any means. People are going to do it. Who cares? I don't engage in it myself. I don't go out of my way to go to these websites and review these games. I just simply discuss whether I think it's bad, whether I think it's good, and why. But shout out to Peter OVO, who personally disagreed with my video that I posted today, but it was under a respectful premise, and which was completely fine. But they said someone has created 25 accounts to review bomb Starfield on launch day, and literally they said Hope they make more review bombs. Already have 25 accounts ready for release. A little payback for The Last of Us, Horizon, Gran Turismo, all PlayStation games that Xbox Xbots like to review bomb. It is stupid motherfuckers like this. That's why we can't have nice things. Now, while I don't value any of these weirdos that go to great lengths to do this, I mean, this is clearly a weirdo. He literally has the Pope with a PlayStation on the Pope's head. Look at him. Oh my god. Yeah, Moneybags, facts. Starfield is very much CPU heavy. But there's definitely things you could scale back that are CPU intensive that could help you achieve at least another option. Maidenless behavior, facts, Astro. Very much maidenless. This motherfucker has 25 accounts just to give Starfield a 0 out of 10. You fucking loser. You are a fucking loser. Loser behavior, man. Hey, AX Zombie Killer. Appreciate the sub to the channel, fam. And then let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, this person trying to compare No Man's Sky to Starfield. And it's like, bro, you don't know. You have to compare and contrast on a fundamental level the differences between these games. Now, personally, I don't know that. I'm not a developer. I didn't make No Man's Sky. I didn't make Starfield. I don't know what the actual differences are here.
According to the scanners.
I don't know what the differences are. There's definitely similarities, but what is each of these processes doing? Like, what variables are presented here? A big reason why Starfield is so CPU intensive is that you could be like on one planet and there could be a planet across the entire universe, and the CPU is accounting for everything that's happening on that planet, all that far away, and then also all the 999 other planets that also have a bunch of shit on them too. Is No Man's Sky still doing that as well? I don't know. To be honest with you, I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. So there's different levels here, guys. But this person's saying No Man's Sky is 60 FPS, more colorful, and with much more art direction variety. How do you know? One game has been out since like early last gen, and you've explored the shit out of it. My bad, my internet shit the bed for a sec, but my thing is, how do you know if No Man's Sky has more art direction variety? There's 1,000 planets! They didn't show you all of them! You spent literally almost a decade exploring No Man's Sky. Mind you, came out empty as fuck too, by the way. We have not explored Starfield yet. Starfield hasn't shown me nothing new that I haven't seen in No Man's Sky. But to what level are these processes happening? What is the difference? Like, I actually have to compare and contrast. That's the thing. I don't want to simply jump to conclusions on this stuff. Now, if at the end of the day, I come away thinking, oh man, like, they're the same shit. I mean, that could be the case. Who knows? I don't know for sure. But am I going to just assume that when I've only played No Man's Sky for like a handful of time? I haven't gone back to it very much. I bought it day one and put like 10 hours or so into it. It sucked balls. It was a boring experience. I tried to go back to it like a year or so ago for a little bit. I wasn't dedicated to it, but I could tell that there was definitely some improvement there. I can't really say. Yeah, like bragging about No Man's Sky, a game that took literal years for it to be not a worthless pile of shit. To not be a glorified demo. Didn't like No Man's Sky either. Maybe resign. The game, these type of games just aren't for you, and that's, you know, it happens. There's definitely a lot of games out here that just ain't for me either, you know? Yo, Livewire Scoochie said, have no fear. Your #1 Trollbox advertiser is here. Appreciate you, bro. Star Citizen closes to Starfield? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Moneybag. But I'm not going to assume that these two are the same. That would be foolish. I just feel like this is a very stupid comparison, especially when a game that is purposely an unrealistically ultra colorful color scheme versus a game that's trying to be a little bit more on the realistic side. But apparently it's more colorful, and that's what makes it better. There's more fucking rainbows. They literally get fucking come out of your asshole in the game. That's why it's better than No Man's Sky, apparently. That's how stupid and simple-minded this person is. But hey, I digress. But, guys, the dude that called me out, the Swiss cheese face himself, Dreamcast guy, he had apparently a mental breakdown watching Starfield, complained about it, clearly from before he even seen it, was just gonna hate on it. The dude that was telling me not that it's weird to say, don't get overhyped. The man who was clearly overhyped and came away very unhappy. He had a lot of things to say about Starfield, and I just said, fuck it. We'll just watch video compilation of him being an idiot. Because why not? Apparently there's a whole lot of it. There is a fuck ton of it. How many videos of this dude being a dick face are there? Oof, there is a lot. There is definitely a lot here. Yes, greasy controller face. Star Citizen, most comparable game to Starfield. Could very well be possible, and Star Citizen, yeah, that game. Dreamcast guy goes back and forth between opinions. It's like there's two different Dreamcast guys. The problem is he tries to act like he's not a fanboy. And so he gives lip service to, you know, to certain things, but we know he's a PlayStation dude. That's his shtick. He might as well just change his name to PlayStation guy. Basically, the only reason why he kind of does sound like he goes back and forth is just because he is trying to pay lip service. That's really what it boils down to. But we know what he's all about. I mean, come on, bro. Like, what a bullshit artist. Hey, yo, Donald Duck, bro. Donald Duck for the 10, bro. You totally didn't have to, fam. Thank you so much. Coffee on me. That will definitely support a lot of coffee. I'll get at least two really big iced coffees. That's what I've been like dying. Like that has been like me. I want to go out every morning just to get a fucking big ass thing of iced coffee. But thank you so much, bro. Totally didn't have to. I really appreciate that. Yes, Donald Duck. Very, very classy. I'm a bit of a Daffy Duck fan personally, but hey, bro. Donald Duck is cool too. Donald Duck is a fucking classic. Ponies hate Starfield because it's Xbox. I mean, a lot of ponies definitely hate Starfield just because they can't play it. Because they refuse to indulge in Xbox or their entire brand. Everything that they are on the internet is based upon being a PlayStation fanboy. That's what it is, so that's why they're upset. I mean, it sucks not giving yourself options, right? Come on, Donald, shouldn't Disney be putting that $10 into approving MCU VFX budget? No! Shouldn't those $10 go to making Kingdom Hearts 4, damn it? Alright, but let's see what's up with Dreamcast guy, man.
Hey everyone, thank you so much.
The dude that was overhyped for the Xbox event.
Bethesda Game Studios. That's all I got.
Over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here, and that's thanks to all of you. From the Elder Scrolls to Fallout, we love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do. And throughout all that time, we'd often talk about and dream up the space game. What if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do? And that
He deleted one of his videos? Hold up.
obviously we've
Which
come a long
one?
way
Which
since
one?
then. With the games we've built, our technology, and all of us here in the studio, we've done so much together, but well, we've never tried to make a game
I know he
like
deleted
this.
his live stream.
Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much
This-
of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look.
Hold on.
Starfield is our first new universe.
Well, he didn't delete
in
his
over
Starfield
25
video.
years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through. That is the galaxy around.
He didn't even look at it. He was
That moon is
literally
actually
looking
there
down
orbiting
for
the
like
planet.
2
Yes,
fucking
you can
minutes
visit it too.
straight.
Can you
Around simulate the galaxy around you.
realistically
Our
simulate
next-generation
fun?
lighting model uses
Bro, he just looked up and then a half second later is just like, this sucks. Yeah, I heard the reason why he left early is because his chat was literally telling him he's a piece of shit.
real-time
Dude was literally
global
looking at his
illumination,
phone the whole
like the
time, then
world
looks
based
up
on
and
the
said, can you
type of star
simulate
and the
this being a
makeup
good
of
game?
the planet's atmosphere.
Bro. Yo, this motherfucker's so stupid.
The world based on the type,
He's literally looking down.
and you can play it in first person.
It's really weird that this just looks like
We
Fallout.
love exploration and reward.
He looked at it for a total of like 2 seconds. Oh, it's a knockoff of Fallout. If you think this is Fallout, come on, man. Fallout 4?
It, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in.
He's
can
not even
collect
watching
resources.
it. And mind you, I haven't really watched any of these clips. I was saving it for this live stream. But I heard that his chat was just fucking with him. That's why he just left early.
Do a mission and meet.
He's looking down.
His gun is so weird, it just kind of sprays in the general direction.
Isn't that kind of what a gun is supposed to do? Ugh.
Doesn't even burn the environment?
We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up. And you can view all that in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory.
So how are we
We
feeling
love
about
to pack
the
a
new
ton
update
of
for No
detail
Man's
in
Sky?
every
Pretty good?
object, from all of your weapons, to spacesuits, to food. We just obsess over the details.
And you know what, man? He just looks so fucking fake. Like, you could tell clearly that his predetermination was that I'm going to purposely hate on this game. That was literally what he went into it, even prior to seeing anything. That was what he was gonna do. And he was just like, I'm going to fakely, like actually, you know, hold up to this mindset. There's an article floating around that Amazon Xbox sales shot up 1,300% after the showcase. I heard it was in France. Okay, that's interesting. Todd's sweet little lies keep me up at night. I opened his stream when Erica ended hers, and it was a hilarious time. Oh my god.
Details and food. We obsess over food.
So what, like, my
When
thing
you're
is,
done
what
exploring-
is Dreamcast guys like? Because I used to watch Dreamcast guy. He was like that ugly dude that at least was, you know, back in the day, he had some pretty okay takes. Like, I didn't mind him.
But like once he hit those like 200 subs, 200,000 subs, like he just was like, yeah, I'm gonna upgrade the quality of my content. And after that like turn, he just completely just felt fake as fuck afterwards. Yeah, because Reside, I used to watch Dreamcast guy. I thought he like to me, I would watch like a lot of old school YouTubers like Happy Console Gamer, like Alpha Omega Sin, like Dreamcast guy. I would kind of like lump them all into like sort of the same, like they sort of talk retro stuff, but they also keep up with modern gaming. Like they have like a balance of both. So it was always interesting to hear their takes. And while I didn't like Dreamcast guy nearly as much as I liked Alpha Omega Sin or Happy Console Gamer, I used to watch him along with the other two. Yeah, exactly, Reside. Like before he hit those 200K subs, like he was actually pretty relatively down to earth. He seemed to at least try to be fair. Then he announced, yeah, thanks so much for the 200,000 subs. I'm going to upgrade the quality of my content. I'm going to be getting better. And then you see a very like noticeable change in his demeanor. Yeah, I saw Happy Console Gamer's video. I like, honestly, bro, shout out to Happy Console Gamer. Dude will always be 100. I love that dude. I may not always agree with what he says, but I always feel like he tries to be fair, you know? Cleat face guy. He definitely changed. He definitely changed. Oh, you sub to Happy Console Gamer? Yo, Happy Console Gamer will always be my guy. I've been watching that dude for fucking ever. Forever, man. And he's just always been the same guy. He talks about the games that he likes. He always gives like genuine, honest opinions. He doesn't talk politics. Like, you know, like I appreciate him so much.
You can walk back or fast travel to your ship. You can even hear your name. Let's head out.
Yay. AI names. Yay.
He just looks so fucking fake, dog.
Our mission was to convey...
You know what it is? I think he just loves the attention, the hate that he's getting. Because, man, at the end of the day, you gotta get his teeth fixed, right? Whatever puts food on the table, I guess, right? And gets your teeth fixed.
The wonder and majesty is the one that you tell. The one that you tell. I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
He just looks like he doesn't want to be there at all.
Our character generation system. We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups.
We use that exact
They're
system
such
to
dead-eyed
create all
puppets.
the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
Like, see, like, Dreamcast guy back in the day before he became a sellout fucking loser, like, he would give his positives and negatives. He wouldn't be looking just to say every negative thing possible. He'll definitely make another I was wrong video when he reviews Starfield. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Do I trust him? Fuck no. You could already tell that he's gonna be biased as shit.
You were out cold.
I know how character creators work. My God. Oh.
Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
Never cared for Dreamcast guy. I don't blame you. He's tough to look at.
It's also the simplest character generation system we ever had. We let the
He just looks so depressed. Like, bro, why did you even stream the event?
Creation is more than just
Why did you stream the event? You clearly don't want to fucking be there.
I guarantee none of these are ever gonna come up.
You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
But this is the dude. The thing is, this is the guy that told Me and anybody else that said, hey guys, be careful, don't get overhyped for the event, keep your expectations in check. This is the motherfucker that was telling us we were weird for thinking this. And this is how he acts.
Oh my god, oh my god, I am voice acting.
Intelligence outside the settled systems.
Oh my god, wow.
An eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's lead. Gifted scientist.
Look at all these dead-eyed NPCs.
And Walter, a very successful business.
Dead-eye faces.
As long as you have the money.
Do they look dead-eyed? I mean, they don't look like the best NPCs ever. Like, they look mid. Like, are they genuinely dead-eyed looking? Like, to me, they don't, like, Mass Effect Andromeda is, like, insane. And that's obviously, like, the worst comparison. But you could tell that those characters were genuinely dead in the fucking face. Like, does this character really look dead-eyed?
Dead-eye faces.
Does he look dead-eyed? I don't really think so. It's not a good character. It's not a terrible character. It doesn't look like a doll. Andromeda might look better. I don't know, dog.
I'm an NPC.
Ex-pirate, Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what?
Like, to me, it's like, bro, you have to keep your expectations in check. Like, this is a massive fucking game. So to expect, like, character models that are, you know, top quality, photorealistic, is just an unrealistic expectation. But do these characters genuinely look, like, atrocious? Like, no, they're passable.
What I hate about these pirates.
Is that Chuck Norris? It could very well be. Maybe so. Sam Coe, it could be Chuck Norris.
You know what I hate about these
Take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories.
He just looks so disinterested, bro.
Hey, I love this part of Fallout 4.
Of the Freestar Collective is a key itself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective space.
Hey, I love this part of Fallout 4.
Of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Root Inn is.
Can we call Sam Coe Spike? I mean, I think it'd be a little bit disrespect to the Spike, okay? Because nobody compares to that cowboy.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition.
Yeah,
it
guys,
fits the vibe.
This is it.
Neon started out as a...
To me, look, I was genuinely impressed. It's not perfect. I could tell that there's definitely going to be some problems. But I think that they actually are trying to do a lot of different things here. And I can commend them for that, you know?
You're done exploring. Bosco ship.
My question is, will it play at launch? That's really what it boils down to. That's the make or break for me. Will it play at launch? Because I know Bethesda. I'm very familiar with what they have done in the past. Yo, Big Cloud, what's good with you, bro? Very familiar with what they've done in the past, and most of the time, their experiences are fucked at launch. They're like barely playable, and if you fall into the wrong wormhole, especially in Fallout 4, if you went the wrong direction, your character, like my friend, took me through his save file. Bet, you know, when on PS4 they introduced like the concept of, you know, you could like share play. My friend took me through his save file of Fallout 4, where everything was floating everywhere. Mind you, we bought the game at launch. And that's what he did to the game. By just simply playing it, everything floating everywhere. Like the world had exploded. They were in space. Maybe that was some early gameplay of Starfield, where everything was floating in a complete disaster. BitCloud Gaming has entered the chat. Yes. Dreamcast guy looks like he tried to eat a live porcupine and didn't succeed. Oh no.
Welcome back, Captain.
As NASA Punk.
This means a design language
thank you for the
where
super
tech
chat.
is advanced.
Rip Starfield. LOL.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously, then.
He wants this game to be bad, so bad.
You can
Talk
see
it
all
into
of the info
existence.
and resources. You can choose
Yeah,
It's
we
not a
got
bug,
played
it's a
like
feature.
fiddle.
fast travel to known locations.
This is not.
Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the
I'm not
system.
wowed.
Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life.
Hey,
on them,
buddy.
versus the many planets that are barren.
Hey, buddy. Clearly you're not wowed. But I also don't feel like anything you say is genuine.
Grenade. Kind.
Different check.
Oh.
Obvious damage.
Wow.
I mean, he was wowed there, I guess.
I love this terrible AI.
Whether you want to get up close
I've never seen a single one of these people even land a shot. Look at all this terrible AI.
weapons like pistols and submachine guns.
They just stand there.
Or maybe you prefer something bigger.
Do the enemies fight back, or they just
Starfield's got you covered.
they just take damage?
I just wish I could see the chat. I wish I could see
Every
the fucking
enemy
chat,
just
dog.
walks at you. They're not even shooting. Shoot, enemies, shoot! Not a single enemy is even trying to attack him. That guy fired 2 bullets. They're not even attacking. They're just standing there. Oh, that guy threw a grenade. Kinda.
Kinda? What are you talking about, kinda?
Oh, good. Some robots. Oh, that robot threw a nice punch.
This game is gonna suck in first person at 30. Ugh. That experience is
It's that
not gonna be fun.
same walk cycle again. He's walking because the enemies can't even shoot him. Oh no, the dead-eyed NPCs are ragdolling.
Thanks again for being with us today. We are just so grateful.
Sodium guy, I like that.
And spent it here. I know
He
there's probably
likes
a lot
that.
to take in.
That's
There's a lot
funny.
to dig
There
into.
actually
There's a lot
wasn't
we
a
can
lot
show
to
here.
take in, Todd.
You know, as we play it,
He was
we're always
looking
sharing
down
these
at his phone for
Well,
like
this
half
was kind of a
it.
dog shit conference. What do y'all think about it?
He was literally looking down at his phone for most of it, though.
It's that same walk cycle. Better. That says Dreamcast kind of a dog shit. A lot
show
to
here.
take in, Todd.
You know, as we play it, we're always sharing these unique and
What a
Well, this is kind of
miserable
a
fuck.
dog shit conference. What do y'all think about it? Oh my god. Dreamcast guy, there's a bunch of super chat says Dreamcast guy, there's a lot of Xbox saying Starfield looks better than Spider-Man and Final Fantasy 16 combined. Ooh. Woo boy, that's some cope. That's some cope. All right, I'm going to film a video talking about this because, wow,
I'm gonna
this
go
was
film a
dog
video.
shit. Good luck, Xbox people. You guys got a lot of defending to do, so feel free to go on Twitter and tell everybody about how this is the best game ever. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's what you get this year. Look at that. Ooh, boy. There's that walk cycle again. Look, it's that one walk cycle again. Woo. Hey, look, it's that walk cycle again. He's still doing it, boys. Look at that. Gameplay. Ooh, wow. Yep. Ooh, yeah, building ships. Oh, my God. It's the walk cycle. It's doing the slow walk, guys. You know, oh, it's that walk cycle y'all love. All right, I'm going to film a video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, seriously, thanks for all the super chats. I'm going to make a video talking about this. Yeah, this looks like Xbox's next Redfall. Big congrats to y'all. I'm going to make a video real quick saying the Xbox showcase was wet dog shit getting sucked out of a nun's asshole. Love you very much. If you haven't already, be sure to
He literally described his own face perfectly.
subscribe. Yeah, and keep dreaming. Keep dreaming of when Xbox gets games.
So
I can't imagine, like, there's definitely people that were actually excited to watch him stream the game, like that showcase. Like, it's a good thing their Dreamcast guy doesn't stream very often, particularly because it's just not interesting. It's not an interesting person to want to hang out with, not an interesting person that actually can hold a conversation on a live stream with a chat. Like, what does he do? Just stare down at his phone the whole fucking stream, collect money from super chats and read them out? Does he even pretend to want, like, can you at least pretend like you want to fucking be there? He is extremely annoying. Yo, Lobo's dying. Yeah, I would have hated to have watched that live stream. Wow. Don't understand this guy's take on Starfield is really that big of a deal that Microsoft is starting to release bangers. Like, yeah, this could potentially be a damn good game. Definitely is trying to do a lot of things, man. It is trying to do a lot of things. Do I think it's going to accomplish all of these things? I think it's going to fall short in some instances, but I think in some instances it's going to be awesome too. Like Bethesda's open world RPGs always tend to be a mixed bag. Like there tends to be some good takeaways and then some not so good takeaways. I think that this will be, you know, definitely their grandest thus far. What do we call you, Classic Cage? I'm new here. You can call me Cage, if you'd like to. That normally works. Some people call me Triple C, which is cool too. Placing a bet. Big Cloud left. What? What? Dreamcast guy will get. Oh my god. Yeah, clearly he will be the most biased opinion, no doubt. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm still gonna review the game anyway, and it's like, you didn't even give the game the time of day to even look at what is presented. How is anyone gonna believe you're even being remotely unbiased? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. But yeah, this is what you get when you're overhyped. Okay? This is the guy that told me it's weird to have tempered expectations for showcases. And I have tempered expectations for all showcases. I never get overhyped for PlayStation, for Xbox, for Summer Game Fest. I'm not hyped for any of them. My expectations are tempered. Now, do I usually have a higher standard for PlayStation because they've had, last generation, they've had a consistent, like, showing of gameplay? Yes. So when you change that and you've downgraded, then yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you have done far better in the past. Now, Xbox, they've been extremely inconsistent. So with them, I definitely don't have high expectations for them. I have to say, I think they did a decent job with this showcase. They definitely showed more than 2 games that I'm interested in, which is shocking. You know, I've for a long time I felt like they stopped making games for me. So the fact that this Summer Game Fest, I came away like, damn, there's actually a few things I'm interested in. That's cool, man. That is cool for sure. And I think Starfield, when they first showed off gameplay, I was like, nope, this is terrible. They showed this gameplay and they really got into all the different facets of the game, and I'm like, okay, I'm interested. I'm you know, kind of concerned in a sense, can they pull this all off? I don't know, but I'm interested. I'm interested to see what they have to offer. I hope that they pull it off. I hope that it's a game that I'll want to play for a long time. We'll see. I'm open to it, man. At least be open. Like, you know, if there's something there. Now, if it wasn't for me, then it wasn't for me, but I like open world RPG games. I like the role play experience, like the free flow role play that Bethesda's done. Oblivion it's in my top 10 favorite games of all time. So do I want to be hyped for Starfield? I do want to, but have Bethesda done me dirty in the past as a freeform, like, role play, like open world sandbox role player? Someone that wants the role play experience over the gunplay, or, you know, over your character speaking that takes away the roleplay experience. Like, they've done me dirty in some instances. So I'm hoping this is more of a return to form for Bethesda and open world RPGs. We'll see. I think it looks pretty cool. Yo, Oblivion was everything. I never played a game like that before. And when you just get out of that prison and you're just looking around, and the game is like, hey, we want you to go here, but in the meantime, do whatever the fuck you want to do. And you, like, just walk off and you find this, like, this cave that you could go into, and you could just get lost in it for days. For days, man. That was just me. It took me so long just to even get to Joffrey, because I was just like, wait, this game is letting me do all this shit? I'm going to go do everything that I want, anything that I want. And it's like, it took me, like, freaking, I was there 10 plus hours. I don't even remember how long. I just remember it taking me so long just to go actually meet Joffrey for the first time. The calming pants. You love Bethesda? Okay. See, I'm like more of a bit of a disgruntled Bethesda fan. I want to love Bethesda. I've enjoyed their games an immense amount in the past, particularly like Oblivion, Fallout 3. Obviously, Obsidian did New Vegas, but I really enjoyed New Vegas as well. Skyrim, I was okay with. I was sort of underwhelmed. I preferred Oblivion, but then again, that's also my favorite game. You know, in my top 10 at the time, it was my favorite game of all time. And for me, Skyrim just felt kind of samey with everywhere I went, so I was kind of turned off by that. But Skyrim isn't a bad game. I was just, I don't know. It just wasn't, to me, it wasn't it wasn't the successor that I was hoping it would be to Oblivion. Hey, Michelle Romeo, I am doing awesome tonight. How are you doing? I hope you're well. It's always good to see you. Appreciate you pulling up. So Skyrim, I was like, I was overhyped. I was so overhyped. I went to the midnight release. I bought the strategy guide, and the game. I was definitely overhyped, and I don't think anything could live up to how I felt about Oblivion at that time. It happens. Then Fallout 4, I was just upset. It was just, I had such a terrible experience. So that's my history with Bethesda. I want to fall back in love with Bethesda again. I'm open to it if they do the right thing. How long has your channel been going? It's September will be 2 whole years. So it's pretty crazy how I'm still here. I'm shocked. But it's awesome to be here. It's awesome to meet new people, have conversations, discuss gaming, like our passions, you know? Since they have never played more than 15 minutes of Skyrim. I tried so hard to like Skyrim. I bought it multiple times across many different platforms. I've modded it. I've tried everything, and it just doesn't live up to Oblivion for me, or how I saw Oblivion. In a decent amount of ways, Skyrim is a better game than Oblivion, but it just never felt like it to me. So that just is what it is on that front. Maybe the problem with big developers, too many cooks spoil the pie? That's always possible, for sure. Definitely. To this day, let me see. But with the Bethesda magnum opus will always be The Evil Within. A lot of people love that game. A lot of people love it. Derpnator says, I was obsessed with Skyrim. I even made my own sweet rolls, no joke. That's what's up, bro. See, like I was obsessed with Oblivion. Obsessed, bro. Absolutely. That was my fucking jam. For years. So, like, the way you felt about Skyrim, I felt about Oblivion. But that's cool, man. Something anybody could be passionate about. It's always nice to hear, nice to see. But yeah, I guess we're going to move on to sort of also a big topic of discussion. I didn't make my own video on it. I was just waiting to see like how deep this goes with the whole Nickmercs situation. Talked about it on, shout out to, Hypnocast, Saturday Night Hypnosis, where we talk about a lot of, crazy ass subjects, man. And this whole controversy with FaZe Clan's Nickmercs it continues to rear its ugly head. Wow, Donald Duck says, I didn't get into Skyrim until the lockdown and I fell in love with it. That's awesome. Especially during that time. Like, anything to, cling to get through fucked up time. It's cool to see that you found something to cling to in a pretty messed up, time. Starfield wasn't even on my radar, and now I'm slightly considering it. I don't even have an Xbox. Hey, yo, Tails, man. I think that there's some interesting stuff here for sure. I had a negative opinion on it when they first shut it off. Now I'm like, okay, I actually want to give this a go. Nickmercs is the COD issue, right? Yes. And there's a lot to this whole thing, man. Oblivion was the first game that I got all achievement points on. Nice, Panthera. Let's give it to you, Panthera. Hope you're doing well today. But we have to, go through the whole thing. And I'm just going to give my thoughts on pretty much everything, including Activision themselves. Because, well, they are a piece of shit company and prove it as often as possible, in my personal opinion. But Nickmercs is facing criticism for a tweet regarding Pride Month in schools. And this is how it all started. Basically, this dude, MLG Puckett here, says, this happened 4 blocks from my Overwatch League apartment. Americans are in a sad place right now. Let people love who they love and live your own life. And basically, there were protesters protesting at a school board meeting, because, well, parents didn't want the school introducing children to, the whole Pride Month thing. That they felt as though that shouldn't be present there, introducing, LGBT sexuality to children, all this stuff, parents are feeling like they should have a say in whether this is introduced to their children or not. And that's perfectly acceptable. If you are the parent or guardian of your child, you should have the overall say of what is introduced to your child. And there was a protest specifically saying, yeah, we don't want this introduced to our children. It's not your place as a school. Let's be real now. You don't, a lot of these schools don't even, teach basics right. Imagine them introducing sexuality to minors, to little kids. We're not talking about, even teenagers. We're talking about little fucking children. So, what sparked this entire thing to kind of just go crazy is simply FaZe Nickmercs replied to this saying, they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. And I think that that's a fair assessment. I think personally that is indeed a fair assessment. Yo, Brendan the Anime Guy. Brendan the Anime Guy says exactly, testify. Hey, we gonna keep it real here. But, yo, thank you so much for becoming a mainstream classic, baby. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Upset parents actually were right about something for once. Good on them. Yeah, I mean, look, man. If parents don't feel comfortable with you talking to their children about sex, gender, all that stuff, that should be respected. Okay? That should definitely be respected. They're taking these choices out of the hands of the parent. Let's be real now. Can y'all get reading, writing, and mathematics correct first? It's not like the degradation of knowledge of these schools isn't already a thing. Why do you want to go to all these other topics when you can't even get basics right here? Exactly. Lines cross majorly about the whole pushing on kids. Exactly. Parents just, for the most part, everyone's like, look, we just don't care. Just leave us alone and leave our kids alone. Now they just say, no, we're not going to leave your kids alone. We're going to introduce all this shit to your children. And it's too bad what you think or what you say. We're going to do what we want to do. And it's like, that's when parents are like, oh, so you're not going to leave my fucking kid alone. Now there's a problem. Tellus says, end of days is near. Look, this is definitely deeper than it seems. But there is always a chance to come back, and there's always the will to fight to the very end. All right, so let's see. Armenian protesters. The detail is important. These weren't radical right-wingers. Anyone that knows about the Armenian genocide should know why this is a big deal to them. True. That is definitely a good point overall. When I was in school and they had the talk about sex, the parents had to sign a permission. Otherwise, you went to the library. And I think that that's a fair assessment. If the parents feel as though, look, they're educators that are, not up to anything nefarious and whatnot, and they feel as though they're comfortable with their children being educated by educators about sex, then fine. But at least give the parents the choice. You're like, well, screw what the parents want. We're going to do what we want to do anyway. But yeah, Words of Paradise definitely brings up a good point there. Prior with the Armenian genocide. And Donald Duck says, I have an opinion on the Nickmerc issue. When I was young and I worked for a small business, the best advice I got from the owner was never talk about religion or politics while conducting business. That's also a very good point, for sure. But apparently this sparked outrage. They should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. Especially when parents are saying, no, we don't want you doing any of this shit. So it then leads to a lot of stuff happening, and Nickmercs himself says, I didn't mean to upset anyone. I know what I did. I'm not apologizing about the tweet because I don't feel like it's wrong. And it's true. And this is what he actually did say himself.
Simply feel that I want to be the one and my wife wants to be the one to speak with our child about stuff like that. And that was the tweet. That was the tweet. You can take.
And what's wrong with someone who's a parent saying, I want to have these conversations with my children, not you?
Take the tweet if you want, and you can spin it, flip it, flop it, quote tweet it. You can put 10 paragraphs on top of it. You can do whatever you want to it to make you feel better if that's what you want to do. But that was the tweet, okay? So if you came here to hear that, I hope you feel a little better about it. I didn't mean to upset anybody. I know that I did. I'm not apologizing about the tweet because I don't feel like it's wrong. I'm going to stand by what I said. I'm not going to delete the tweet. I just want to make sure everybody understands exactly the point I was trying to make by tweeting my response. And I do want to apologize to Puckett though. I feel like I might have brought a little bit of shit his way, man. I didn't mean to do that, but
I think that's a very fair assessment, man. Yeah, parents should be the one to talk about it, not teachers, or the parents should have the decision on who discusses it with teachers. It should be the parents' say, period. But what he said, completely understandable. He didn't bend the knee. He clarified what he said, and he sounds like a very sane individual. He simply says, I want to have these conversations with my kids. So I'm sure he feels for these parents. He also expressed that he himself recently just became a parent. So as a parent himself, he definitely wants to choose how his child goes about learning about important topics such as these. I feel for that guy because it was hurting his family. I respect him sticking to his guns. Facts. In a fucking... And like I said, this becomes super fucking deep. Uninstalled COD for Mercs. Hey, I deleted that bullshit a while ago, and I will not be buying any more Call of Duty games. Not even because of this situation specifically. More so, honestly, the real reason is because Call of Duty is shit now. It is horrible. I don't like. It's such an unfun game. But this just adds that extra. Like, yeah, I definitely like. If I was gonna double, triple, quadruple down, this is it. Really. And it's good to see that people are also standing with him for what's right. Including Dr. Disrespect himself.
What we got to do is uninstall the game. Number one. I mean, don't get a mistaken. This year's Call of Duty is the worst in its franchise. But that decision by COD's PR marketing team. I'll tell you right now, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to digest for the two-time. I feel like, A, they either need to apologize publicly to him or reinstate his bundle in order for me to consider playing Call of Duty again. That's where I'm at.
That's definitely fair. Fucking Nickmercs is a Chad for not bending the knee and saying the fucking truth. And, Doc is a fucking Chad for standing up too. And even Nickmercs' friend, and originally he didn't want to get into the subject at all, Tim the Tat Man. And I get it. Like, most of the time, like, we gamers, we don't really want to talk politics, especially if we're, like, streamers. Like, we want to talk about video games. But unfortunately, these motherfuckers make it so that it's not avoidable at some point, Fortnite over Call of Duty? I mean, right now, yeah. Right now, for sure. But I'm sure Epic is doing something that's fucked up right now. They'll do something that's fucked up in the future. All these companies are ridiculous, and I'm going to explain why. But Lobo says Infinity Ward really wants to pull a Call of Duty version of the MCU. Lobo also said people who said boycott Activision from the sexual harassment are now supporting them. Can't make this up. Exactly, because while all this is going on, while Activision is virtue signaling, guess what? It's the sexual harassment cases at Activision, they're definitely a few dozen. Yeah, that ridiculous Dove partnership. Exactly. Because all these companies can't help but virtue signal. I'm going to explain why. But even Tim the Tat Man has publicly requested Call of Duty to remove his bundle from the game. And he said, Nickmercs has been my friend for years. We went in getting our COD operators together. It feels wrong for me to have mine and him no longer have his. In support of my friend, please remove the Tim the Tat Man bundle. And he addressed that to Call of Duty. And these are both of their skins. So he's like, if my friend can't have his just because he's being honest, he didn't really, what he said was, hey, just leave kids alone. Apparently that was enough to get him clapped. Can't have honest conversations anymore. Yeah, I like Doc too. I don't mind Doc. He's pretty okay, especially for someone. I mean, is he probably gonna do something in the future that's fucking stupid? More than likely. Has he done stupid things in the past? Certainly has. But I feel for someone as big as Dr. Disrespect is, he's relatively, at least reasonable. Gotta say it, though. What is quote-unquote sexual harassment nowadays, though? Like I said with my Star Wars vid, sexual harassment is looking at women's asses in the office for a quick moment. So, facts. But here's the thing, man. Activision has their own in-house issues, but they're more so concerned with virtue signaling as opposed to handling their issues. And it is funny that this individual does bring this up here. He brings up a good point. COD players asking for changes since launch. Call of Duty ignores. Nickmercs says leave kids alone. Call of Duty removes his bundle in less than a day. Tim the Tatman asked for his bundle to be removed. Call of Duty removes bundles in less than a day. X Defiant looking good. And yes, like all of us who constantly voice our problems with Call of Duty for years were fucking ignored. But oh my god, this one comment saying leave kids alone is rough. It's hard for us to ignore that, especially with all our LGBTQ plus virtue signaling, so we're immediately going to address this. This is the bullshit we deal with as gamers. But here's the thing, man. Fucking Activision's more concerned about what Nickmercs is saying when, hey, first Activision Blizzard transparency report reveals over 30 employee complaints were filed in 2022 over harassment, discrimination, and retaliation. So they definitely have a lot of their own problems. And this is like a consistent thing. And the problem is, so it could be minor shit. There could be minor shit. Or there could be, like, casting couch levels of shit, too. Like, it's crazy. Like, they literally, they're infamous. There's a lot of infamy that goes into Activision in which people, like, there's actually allegedly someone that killed themselves over some things that have happened at Activision. So they clearly have some issues. Some might be minor, and some might be some pretty crazy shit that has led people to actually self-delete. As a part of the aftermath from the sexual harassment lawsuits and settlement, Activision Blizzard released their first annual transparency report. The company details substantial claims from 2022 under the qualifying our work to prevent harassment, discrimination, and retaliation category. Yeah, they have a lot of work to do on that. Duck Activision, Duck Blizzard. Appreciate you pulling up, Brandon. Appreciate the membership, man. It means a lot. Take care of yourself, bro. Have a good night. Singwin Tail says they find someone vulnerable inside a company, someone's easy, they flirt a little bit, and then when the other person crosses the line, they use the situation to gain power. Facts. Our harassment, discrimination, and retaliation cases were reported during 2022. 80% were investigated. Activision has revealed. During our investigations, during 2022, our investigations unit substantiated 32 total reported concerns of harassment, discrimination, retaliation across all business units. And these substantiated concerns, 29 represented misconduct by our employees, 2 represented conduct by contingent workers, and 5 represented conduct by non-employees, including, for example, esports players and testers. So there's definitely some things that definitely have been going on in Activision, and I think that they should be more concerned with their own shit. But let me see. Does it actually go into? So, like I said, man, y'all should just concentrate on actual, issues and not Nickmercs saying leave kids alone, which prevents issues. But look, it's just crazy that their company just continues to crop up with issues. That's just what it is, man. But here's the thing. Why are they more concerned with virtue signaling than anything else? Why are they quick? The problem is, see, here's the thing. This is a thing because of how bad misconduct has been for this company in the past. It has led to a lot of infamy. That's what it is. It's like, this is the response to them not being concerned. And a lot of crazy shit happening within their company. This is like years worth of problems at this company. So why are they so concerned with Nickmercs and what he has said? So
Hold on one sec. So, alleged former Activision Blizzard employee claims promotion of disordered LGBTQ plus culture at company is due to fear. An alleged former Activision Blizzard employee recently claimed the company pushes the disordered LGBTQ plus culture due to fear. And this is an interview with Scooper, the YouTuber WDB Pro. An alleged former Activision Blizzard employee going by Frosthammer was asked, "How did we arrive at the Blizzard today?" And I'm actually going to play this video. But this is related to and Sanguine Tales brings it up. ESG scores. ESG. Sex abuse lowers it while virtue raises it. So it is in regard to ESG scores. If you guys don't know what that is, basic breakdown here is ESG scores allows investors to identify companies that align with their values. So just a basic breakdown. I don't want to get into the whole political thing about this, but the reality is the reason why they want to squash this shit with Nickmercs is because, well, it's not because these people actually are about like, oh man, love is love, all that. No, it's because they want investors. They want they want investors' money. That's what it all boils down to. Their ESG score so that they get the investors to invest in their company. Yo, shout out to Panther111. Appreciate you. Welcome to the Cult of Cage. If you guys are new and you have Discord, in the community tab, in the actually the membership tab, I have the link to the Discord if you want to join and have some fun and hang out with us in Discord. Yeah, like ESG, it's completely politically oriented. Basically, it's just a measurement of how well and politically oriented are you with investors that believe in this shit. So it's a social credit system. It's not, that's literally what it is. If investors prioritize environmental and climate issues, they can easily look at the rating provided by blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's all politically motivated. It's a social credit system. And that's why to them, it's so important to virtue signal, to increase their social credit score. Not because they care about the LGBT, not because they care about all of the minority communities out there. It's simply because, well, investors, some of them follow these scores, these social credit scores, and they want a good social credit score. So it's not because they care about any of these people in these communities. All they give a fuck about is money. And the reason, and another big reason why too, fear. A lot of people are literally hit with fear if they do not support. That's the sad reality of it. Fear of not getting those investors, fear of retaliation, socially just shitting on their company for it. VG, bro. Bro, thank you so much for the 20, man. You totally didn't have to. Yo, VG just drops a fucking 20 like a G. He's like, I don't have to say nothing, bro. Just gonna drop this right here. It's not even a gold bar. It's an orange bar, okay? It's like super gold. Now I'm playing, but bro, thank you so much. Totally didn't have to. Hope you're doing well tonight. But man, so many people came through today. I really appreciate y'all, for real, for real. It does mean a lot to me, man. Because I'm awesome. I like to think I'm awesome. Thank you so much for the compliment. You're awesome too, bro. It's always good to see you. I was like, I actually want to get those spines that you posted your video on. Them shits look dope. And I'm like, oh my god, another thing to collect for too. But they are sick. They are super sick. Yeah, Michi just slapped his deck on the table. Oh man, yo, VG's always too kind, bro. Definitely, guys, check out his channel. He posts good content, for real. Yeah, VG's a fucking beast. But yeah, a lot of why
You see all this virtue signaling. Why Nickmercs saying leave children alone is a problem is because it's fear and it's greed. And here's a former Activision employee that doesn't want to reveal their name that actually discusses it.
We know now that there were inklings of this anti-meritocracy sort of sociocultural push coming inside the company. But how did we arrive at the Blizzard of today, where if you look at, for example, the lead, the game lead on Overwatch 2 now, Aaron Keller, he is never seen without a rainbow-colored insignia on his shirt. How did we arrive at this point where Blizzard is now in constant virtue signaling one particular sociocultural belief?
I would say one word: fear. There's fear of being attacked internally if you aren't shown to be part of this LGBT culture.
So it's not genuine. It's if I don't make it seem as though I support this culture that's being pushed, well, I could suffer greatly for it. So what's the point in that if there's nothing genuine about that? That's the shitty thing about it all. None of this is real. That's why personally I don't co-sign it. It's not genuine, it's forced. That's the thing about it. And if you don't fall in line, well, you're treated like you are evil. Just because you refuse to cave to fear. That's the thing that sucks about it. Glad you made the Spines video. Almost 1,000 views. Damn, nice. A lot for me. Totally worth the purchase. Now, it's definitely cool. It's an interesting, like, and anything like, you know, collecting, retro, like, that's always an interesting, you know, niche. And that's really an interesting, that's like an interesting thing. I didn't know that existed, but that's so cool that it does exist. So, like, definitely introduced me to something new that I'll probably at some point end up collecting because I can't help myself. No, but you got a lot for, you know, a lot of those Switch spines for a decent price. So it's like, at least it's an affordable little collecting thing, right? Who's gonna drop the first? Yo, Eyes, don't be baiting people, bro. Don't be baiting people. Why can't video game companies just focus on making good video games? Exactly. It's like they're worried about all these things. A lot of it is literally out of fear. None of it is really genuine. A lot of it is just to encourage investors to invest in their company. And guess what? We're left with a lot of, unfortunately, mid to trash releases. A lot of them that virtue signal in your face. You can't just simply enjoy something that's objectively good. Everything always, it's like it's become the last thing on the list to make a good game. Does this game appeal to this community, that community? Does it fall in line with all of these suits and ties that need all these specific things to be featured here? The last thing on the list is, oh, make a good game.
People have
is that a compensation for the sins of the past, for the Cosby suite and all that? Or what's going on? Why do they measure that to be a financially viable decision?
To be honest with you, I follow the money line on that one, and I think it's mostly having to do with environmental
ESG score?
Yeah, ESG score. I think that has a lot more to do with that these days. But the internal culture at Blizzard, as far as the day-to-day operations go, it's fear. And that's what
like Lucasfilm.
And it's a shame that this is the case. Oh yeah, ESG is killing Disney. Donald Duck says, just want to brag about what beautiful weather we are having in the San Francisco Bay Area today. That's awesome, man. Yeah, the weather's been pretty good here over in PA. I can't complain. Especially after the smoke that we've had like last week. So hey, it's good to have a day where you can actually go out and breathe the air. Because it's fairly quickly that was taken away from us, at least for a short bit of time.
Probably. I mean, that's what really, like you said, we literally had to create our own areas to be able to discuss how crazy these things have gotten, and some people have been caught.
You have to even hide your name, your alias, just to have conversations on what the truth is. The truth is they don't care about anybody. They don't care about all the things that they virtue signal about. It's all about investors. It's all about stoking fear into making people fall in line. These are all tests, man. These are all tests to see what will get you to bend the knee. What'll make you say, well, fuck it, I'll just follow along. And a lot of people do. They do just fall in line. Not because they genuinely want to, but because they're scared.
On record ranting and raving just because they had a really bad day of dealing with this stuff. And, you know, certain things will get leaked and then people get fired. It's sad. And it's, you know, a lot of people who have been there for a lot of years are now definitely afraid to say what's even on their mind in terms of actual design development goals, let alone what the politics are.
Well, there's
Designed development goals. They're afraid to even talk about their goals for their games. This is what we're dealing with, guys. People think that, oh, we could just ignore it forever, but it's literally affecting how video games are made. It's affecting how people act. It's stoking fear and forcing people to abide by these social political rules that mostly are just fake. Nobody gives a fuck about this shit. And it's a shame. It's a shame that most people are just full of shit. I'm just willing to be one of the few that's willing to be honest about it. I know a lot of people have a lot to lose, and I get that. I understand. But this is literally changing the landscape of society for the worst, in my opinion. So that's the sad thing about it all. The sad thing is Nickmercs can't say they should leave children alone. When people that aren't their parents are imposing the concept of discussing sex with minors, with not just, oh, they're 17, 18 years old. They need to be prepared for the real world. Anyway, we're talking about single-digit age children that they want to discuss sex and not even necessarily education. They want to discuss gender theory, things that aren't even like helpful to even teenagers, let alone like really, really young single-digit minors. But apparently, you're a bad person if you're a parent that wants to make that decision on whether to introduce that to a child or not. And it's sad that we're here, but we are. It's all about money, and it's all about fear, Oz. That's facts. And look, I support Nickmercs because he told it like it is. He was very fair in his statement. He's like, look, I didn't want to offend anyone, but it should be up to the parent on whether, you know, to have these talks or to choose who can have these specific discussions with their children. In no other situation has this ever been, like, widely disputed. It's always up to the parent on what a kid is introduced to. And it should stay that way. So I don't know why this is such a problem now, why all this virtue signal is happening, why Activision has terminated Nickmercs' bundle for any other reason other than fear and ESG scores, social credit system scores. And all this shit is wrong, man. A lot of people don't want to wake up to it. And you know what? I don't like to talk about this shit on the channel. I really don't. I avoid it. I didn't talk about it for all this time. But at the end of the day, I wanted to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. I was hoping to see Activision turn around and reinstate the bundle and apologize to Nick and move on. But it still hasn't happened. That's why it's like, well, all this stuff has happened since. There's still sane people out here. I'm going to have the discussion. At the end of the day, I do want to talk about video games and preferably good video games. But instead, we got to talk about this shit. But I do it in hopes of tomorrow being a better day. Panthera 111 says Nickmercs is right. Leave the kids alone. Leave little children alone. And respect parents' decisions. for their children. That is facts, bro. That is facts. But I guess that's where we're going to leave it, man. It's about to hit 11 p.m. my time. It's really good spending a whole 3 hours with everyone here that did, stop by, hang out with me. I really appreciate everyone that pulled up. If you haven't, hit the like button, guys. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Video games should be an escape from all this stuff. Facts, good all. And the problem is video games are getting so bad and so invested with the political bullshit that we can't ignore it. It's hard. You can't ignore it anymore. Reminds you of a certain Pink Floyd song. And it's systematically being put. This mindset is being systematically adapted through a social credit system, and that's the true horror of it all, man. The true horror of it all. But I hope that bringing recognition to this shit makes tomorrow a better day. That's why I discuss it, man. That is why I discuss it. But everyone, guys, thank you so much. Severin Evans for becoming a member. Brandon, the anime guy, becoming a member. Panthera111 for becoming a member. Thank you so much, Zeno, Gordon Hammer, Donald Duck, and VG Legends for the super chats, guys. You're all far too kind. All far too kind. Real quick, I'm just going to give a shout out to the channel members, because obviously I appreciate everyone. And it's quite a long list, I'm not going to lie. But I speak it with pride, everyone. Shout out to Hustle and Motivate, Ara Carey, Get This Work, AB Limits, Alex Merciful, RC Scott, John Shepard, Orange Hat Reviews, Gray Early, Admiral T, Harit Chennai, Words of Paradise, Damon's Ghost, Tokyo TCTV, Adriano Italiano, Deathmaster234, Butch Luffy, Retromania, Iron Man, Richard Swag Lord, Talos Re, 5 Izzy 5, Fake Pear Livewire 4K, RC0606, Tatsu Sama, General Vague, Sandor, Kling, Jenna, Catania, Overcooked Octopus Feet, Saad Al Sabah, Jason Quack, The Lemonade King, Nola Boy, 504, Cannoli Sasquatch, Goodall One Bay, Astro Cyborg, KRG, Rezi, The Nobody, Super Kitty, Sanguine Tales, Bob C, MCPE, Sunny Turner, Copa Catania, Jacob Golf City, Navo, Luxury Nostalgia, TXT, TGAP Steve, Severin Everins, and there we go. And Brandon, the anime guy. Thank you guys so much for believing in an asshole like me. VG, you're obviously also super amazing. Thank you so much. You're far too kind and always a great person to want to be around and talk to. So appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Astro, for chilling. Panthera, thank you so much. Derp Nader, Goodall. It's 4 a.m. Goodall. Yeah, I appreciate you being up at that time just to hang out with me, bro. Please have yourself a good night. Get some rest. Donald Duck, it's good to see you. Just a brand new sub. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Alex vs. Evil, always appreciate you. Oz, the good homie Oz. We'll see him next Thursday for the Two Girls for Feels podcast. Pierce Taylor, always appreciate you, homie. Obviously, VG Legends, Joshua, Talos Re, definitely trying to get as many people as I can. Words of Paradise, always lending some good information. And Sanguine Tales, Michelle Romeo, Derp Nader, always, bro, far too many people. If I missed you, it's not intentional. Just so much support, and I really appreciate all of it. But yeah, guys, with all that being said, I am out. Peace.